Hello, nerd friends. How is everyone doing? I'm so sorry. There is someone here on the side who is exploiting labor right now, and they are doing construction, as you can hear. Can you hear this chat? It's very annoying. I've already screamed at them twice today. But they're like, अरे दिवाली पे छुट्टी दिया था अब ज़्यादा काम करवा रहे हो. Of course ज़्यादा काम करवा रहे हो. As if like दिवाली में छुट्टी दिया तो favor किया. Oh, very annoyed. Sorry, I started this way, but hello. Hi, how you doing? How you doing? It is Friday. It is 8th of November. It is Demonetization Jayanti, and it is 8:58 p.m. Hello, how is everyone doing? 8 years ago, there was a traumatic event that happened, and I know a lot of you are already like wishing everyone for this glorious trauma. Yes, Trauma Jayanti. Hello. Hello, Piyush. Yes. Hello, Srileka. Everyone. Remembering 8th November 2016. Where were you? What were you doing on that day? Oh man, my demonetization story. So, 8th of November, I was going back from work and suddenly, like out of nowhere, there were like these lines outside the ATM. And I was like, kya hua? And I reached home and then I heard from a roommate that, oh, look, Modi ji has announced something. And I'm like, oh, what? And then the thing happened. Then I was wondering, why are people lining up outside the ATM? That makes no sense. But people panicked. Everybody panicked. And then they were like, oh, banks will remain closed. And then from the 10th, you will start exchanging money. On the 9th, my landlord came home and gave us back 3 months of rent in cash and said कि अच्छा ये change करवा के लेके आना, okay? We are giving you a month. So then we panicked, all of us panicked, and then on 10th, which is my birthday day, I was standing in line, and then I was standing in line for 2 more days outside a bank. That's my demonetization story. Couldn't get the whole entire amount exchanged, obviously. It took me like about a month and a half to do it. But the landlord was also like, हाँ ठीक है, I guess. क्या ही कर सकते. And then he found his own, like person to exchange it. So, दे दिया उसको, and then he managed to do it. Like fun times. Demonetization, fun times. Yes. Soon to happen, Meghna turns 35. Yeah, I'm turning 35, yes, in 2 days. Very excited about it. Chat, are you annoyed when you get older? Yeah? Like, who of you do not like getting old? I have something to say to you, which you might find very annoying, to be honest, because I know. You're 17, Mayank. Hello. Must be lovely. Must be great. I'm taking flight the next day. Nobody was taking cash, not cabbies, not one at the airport. It was horrible. Oh yeah, there are so many of these stories. Shailesh is annoyed. Devang is also annoyed. Val has no problem. You don't like your birthday anymore. Wow, okay. After my 30th, I don't want to know. I like getting older. Absolutely. I feel like as I get older, I become better. So, I don't mind. Just that the body breaking down thing is a little annoying. Birthday feels terrible. I'm growing up. I'm 26. Dear Abhi, you're 26, man. What is this behavior? I am I jealous of young people? Yes. I am quite jealous of young people. But then I'm also not jealous in a way that most young people are broke and they don't have money. And mostly people in their mid-30s do. So it's nice that way. Yeah. I can't eat junk food without consequences anymore. I'm just 27. Shailesh, what are you talking about? Of course you have a few more years to like stuff your face with junk food. Like so the sign that you're done with your junk food days will be given by your body. Okay. So like one day when you're going to the mountains or something and suddenly you are like sweating and you're like, oh my god, I'm unhealthy now, and you're walking for long distances and you can't. That is when you're like, okay, I think we're done now, and then you go healthy. Tab tak, stuff your face, be unhealthy. That's what it's all about. Destroying your body when you're young. Okay, so Shohini is saying, hey, by the way, did you watch the Syndicate episodes by Congress? Oh yeah, I saw your first comment also. Syndicate 3 episodes. Yeah, I saw all the episodes. I had a bit of a tiff with Pawan Khera also. Do you want to see because of that? I don't know if you know, but I kind of lost it on Pawan Khera a bit. Catching you live after a long time. Oh, hello, hi, Brown Iris, how you doing? किधर गया? बहुत पहले हुआ था ये तो. Trying to find it. हमारा कलेश. Kalesh with Pawan Khera? Yeah, here. So, so basically, guys, context-wise, Congress has released this weird, interesting, not weird, interesting 3-part series called The Syndicate, which is about Madhavi Puri Butch and her Adani ke saath connections and all the shadiness that is going on in the BJP government and what they have been doing. So, I saw the episodes, but in like literally a minute, Pawan Khera says something strange. He's like, I don't remember when was the last time someone did investigative journalism in the last 10 years. Basically, the whole thing is that Pawan Khera is going around and investigating the SEBI and Madhavi Puri Butch and other things in that series. So this is the first thing he opens with. I mean, I saw the video, but I was like, dude, come on. What are you talking about? Like, seriously? I was like, my problem is essentially with, like, saying stuff like this. Is that, ek to, TV news media is still considered mainstream news, right? And then when they are not doing anything, it is always like put on like, oh, the news isn't like investigating and whatever. But actually, they are not mainstream anymore. Like, I genuinely believe that. Like, they just don't matter anymore to me and a large amount of people, young people especially. And they're not setting the narratives anymore. They're just dinosaurs at this point of time. So when your channel is sending your spokespersons constantly to that medium, and then you're judging the entire media and news ecosystem based on what they are doing, I think that's not great. And then you shouldn't say such things, because there are like Reporters Collective, there is News Laundry, Scroll, TNM, all these amazing organizations which are busting their ass doing investigative journalism. They're collecting whatever money they can from subscribers and whatever, and these guys are still like, oh, वो लोग कुछ नहीं कर रहे. अरे भाई, जो कर रहे हैं उनके बारे में बात करो ना. What is your problem? So yeah, so basically मेरा कलेश हो गया. And then like he also gave a statement later. I think a lot of people started tagging him. There are some brave journalist websites and YouTubers who still dare to expose the truth. Legacy media has stopped doing. See, now he's saying legacy media has stopped doing investigative journalism. Now this is fine. Say this. In a situation such as this, the struggle of the opposition to uphold accountability of the government becomes a very uphill task. That he responded. I mean, he was nice enough to do it, obviously. Yeah. He later like DM'd me also, and like he told me that it was his bad and shouldn't have done it. And I'm like, that's fine. Yes, today we are going to do call-in radio, by the way. So I will take your calls. We are going to talk about the US and Maharashtra elections. But before we begin, I just wanted to show you that there are some seat sharing arrangements that have been made already. Mm. Shohini, I will look at these once, and what I'll do is let me do a video on these. I think that will be a better one. Let me just go through it properly and maybe think if I do, can I do, if I can do a video. But I can't react to it today. I will do it at some point. But I shall. I have seen this. I've seen this. Mm-mm. Oh, there are a lot of people who want to talk. Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. I will just start it in a bit. We are at 9:08. We'll start around 9:20, I guess. Okay, so Maharashtra update. Guys, it is going to be extremely exciting times, by the way. I have to tell you what all is going to happen. So, one exciting event has already happened, which is the US elections. Uh, the next exciting event coming up is the Maharashtra elections. And right after that, the parliament is starting. Okay. So, I believe they have already announced the dates. It will start on the 26th. 26th. Yeah. So, 15 days before is when they will start questions. So next week, I believe the calendar dates will come and we will be able to find questions. So you know what to do. It is MPGA term. So 26th is the parliament. It will go on till, I believe, Christmas. So the entire month, that parliament session. So we will be doing MPGA in Delhi again. But this time we are going to level up a little bit because we have some partners who are working with us for this MPGA. We are going to try and see if we can form like a communications network alongside while we do that. Let's see. I mean, we are still in talks. We're still figuring shit out. But MPGA definitely happening in December. So about December 1st or 2nd week, I'll tell you the proper date before that. So if you are at all planning to come to Delhi at some point and you want to like do a trip or something of that sort, see if you can do it during that time. I'll tell you the dates soon of MPGA, but we are going to raid MP houses again with questions and issue briefs. So yeah. What is the full form of MPGA? It is Make Parliament Great Again. That's what it is. This channel is running one singular campaign, which is Make Parliament Great Again. And we do everything to make Parliament great again. Results could have been better. Madhya Pradesh Government Association. Jharkhand elections, yes. Yes, Jharkhand elections also we will cover. I'm starting with Maharashtra though. So, the seat sharing has been done. So, the reason why the Maharashtra elections are going to be extremely insane is because, like, you can look at it from the seat sharing also. Mahayuti BJP will contest from 152 seats and Congress will get 101. Then Eknath Shinde's Shiv Sena will get 80 seats and Ajit Pawar's NCP will get 52 seats. Then Uddhav Thackeray's UBT is fighting on 96 seats and Sharad Pawar's NCP is fighting on 87 seats. So it's a 6-way contest in Maharashtra. Now, there is also like VBA, which is coming in. Now there is also one more fun character that has entered the race, who is Raj Thackeray. MNS is also coming in, so now it's like a 7.5, I guess. 7.5 sided contest between different alliances. And it's hilarious what is happening because everybody is trying to backstab each other even if they are together. It's bizarre. It's bizarre. I was watching like Raj Thakeray's interview on a Marathi channel, ABP Maza, I think. And he's can't make out, man. Like, I can't, like, Raj Thackeray is such a slippery character, I guess, who is like, uh, so he, oh, by the way, I have to show you this. His son is fighting elections. Where is it? Raj Thackre's son, Amit Thackeray, is fighting elections from Mahim, right? And against him is Eknath Shinde's MLA, Sada Sarvankar, and Shiv Sena UBT candidate, Mahesh Sawant. So, it's Raj Thackre's, Raj Thackre's son, Amit Thackeray, versus टूटे हुए शिवसेना का शिंदे सेना का कैंडिडेट एंड ऑल्सो उद्धव ठाकरे का कैंडिडेट इन माहिम. What is this? I'm so confused, guys. Chat, what is this? Shiv Sena UBT leader Aditya Thackeray will contest for the second time in Worli, is facing triangular contest with MNS leader. See, यहाँ पे भी MNS है और शिव सेना एकनाथ शिंदे है. मिलिंद देवरा. Okay. But yeah, fun things are happening. There is a quadrangular also somewhere happening, which is Bandra East. Oh, Bandra East again. Baba Siddiqui got shot recently, who was the sitting MLA of Bandra East. His son Zishan Siddiqui has switched parties to the NCP Ajit Pawar faction. And now he is contesting from there. And he is contesting against Shiv Sena's Varun Sardesai. MNS has fielded one, which is Trupti Sawant. And Kunal Sarmalkar, office bearer of Shiv Sena, Eknath Shinde, is contesting as an independent. So someone who left Shinde Sena is contesting as an independent. Then there is Shinde Sena, who is contesting also. There is MNS. And there is Shiv Sena Uddhav Thackeray. And also Ajit Pawar. Sorry, forgot. What? I don't get it. Okay, so Ajit Pawar, NCP, and Shiv Sena's Eknath Shinde, right? So they're in alliance. Now Kunal Sarmakar is standing as an independent to cut whose vote exactly now? MNS is coming in because why? So one of the theories doing the rounds in Maharashtra currently, I think Sohit has done a video on this also, and I've been talking to a few people that okay, chat, Game of Thrones time, okay? एक कुछ भी समझ में नहीं आया ना तो मुझे पूछना, because I know this is very confusing. So chat, if at any point you're like, ये समझ में नहीं आया, please tell me. Okay, chat? So, Raj Thackeray, in case you don't know Raj Thackeray, please say hi. Because I'll tell you anyway. So there is Barasaheb Thackeray, who is like the chief supremo of Shiv Sena. From the 90s, he has been like a giant leader in Maharashtra, especially in Mumbai. Yeah. Bar Thackeray had sons. One is Uddhav, the other is Maya. Then his brother had a son who is Raj Thackeray. Okay, so now there is Raj Thackeray, Uddhav Thackeray. The cousins. Okay. Raj Thackre's son is, what's his face now? Abhi to naam bola usne, Amit Thackeray. Uddhav Thackeray's son is Aditya Thackeray. Okay. So, in, I think the late 90s, Raj Thackeray split away from Shiv Sena and formed his own party called the Maharashtra Navnirman Sena. Now, MNS was even more radical than Shiv Sena, which was Barasaheb Thackeray's Shiv Sena, right? And he would come up in elections very randomly and he would do like rallies, etc. And he barely won any seats. In the last election, MNS won 1 seat. Okay. Now this time they are contesting many more. Right. Now Raj Thackeray is actually a very interesting character. He uh, he was, during that time when he was splitting away, there were some things happening. Everybody was sort of saying that Raj Thackeray is going to take over the leadership mantle from Bala Sahib Thackeray. That was talks ho rahe the, right? But then, like, I think there was something that, like, Uddhav Thackeray came in. So then, guy gets upset, splits, forms his own party, etc. Now we are in a situation where Bala Sahib Thackeray Shiv Sena, which Uddhav Thackeray was running, splits, right? Because the people who are split apparently are claiming that the Bala Sahib Thackeray's legacy is being besmirched by Uddhav Thackeray. So Bala Sahib Thackeray stood for Hindutva, etc., etc., and Uddhav Thackeray is milder, so they don't like it. So that's why they split. Actually, the reason why they split is because ED, IT, CBI, Paisa, all the things. But as a veneer, they basically gave this reason that Shiv Sena is not Shiv Sena anymore. It is becoming socialist, I guess. Oh, and they also blamed Aditya Thackeray for it, because Aditya Thackeray was apparently doing like a lot of things within the party. He's super young, so a lot of people didn't trust him, yada yada. So that split happened, right? So which was Eknath Shinde split away from Uddhav Thackeray. Now we are in 2024, where both of them have like different alliances and they're fighting against each other. And now Raj Thackeray comes in. You know why he came in? Because of BJP. Okay, are you with me so far? Chat, if you're with me so far, please say hi. Otherwise, questions. Because अभी बीजेपी आएगा ना कैरेक्टर एक और, तो फिर एनसीपी भी आएगा, फिर दो एनसीपी आएगा. Okay. Okay, fair enough. Okay. I see enough highs. Okay. All right. So now Uddhav Thackeray's Shiv Sena is fighting against Shinde's Shiv Sena, right? What happened is that when they split away and formed a government with the BJP in 2022, Shinde Sena allied with the BJP and then brought Ajit Pawar ka NCP, which is also a broken party from Sharad Pawar's NCP. वो अलग story है. But they formed a government together in alliance. This is called Mahayuti, right? Now in Mahayuti, what has been happening recently is that Devendra Fadnavis seems a little pissed off. Just saying. Devendra Fadnavis was the chief minister earlier. Then he did like a Zabardasti, also chief minister ka, oath taking. But again, like very, very long ago, 2020 mein. Besides the point. But Devendra Fadnavis was chief minister. Eknath Shinde comes into government. Eknath Shinde becomes chief minister and he is deputy chief minister. So it's a demotion. So now Devendra Fadnavis is kind of pissed off. And Eknath Shinde is like, bro, I am now in this seat and I am the one who is going to call the shots, etc. So now I think BJP is using Raj Thackeray to punish Eknath Shinde. That's the theory doing the rounds. Because what will happen, right? In a seat where there is like a multi-party contest happening. So there is Shiv Sena, right, which split into two, which is these. But then there is already an MNS which had earlier split away from Shiv Sena. So it is three parties with more or less the same ideology and flowing from Bala Sahib Thackeray. So now there are three Bala Sahib Thackeray ideologues who are basically fighting in a triangular contest in particular seats. Do you get it? Do you get it? Oh my god, it is going to be insane. Okay, that's what is going to happen. No, another split that was earlier when Bala Sahib Thackeray was there. Raj Thackeray came out of nowhere. That is an earlier thing, 90s, late 90s में हुआ था. So you see, like that's what. पहले लग रहा था कि ओ ये दोनों ही है fight करेंगे. Then comes Raj Thackeray out of nowhere. And the people who are going to benefit is BJP, by the way, because the vote splitting is happening specifically in seats where Eknath Shinde has a candidate. And MNS is also bringing in a candidate. So they are going to eat away the votes of someone. And these are all non-BJP seats. It's smart strategy, by the way. It's smart. Modi and Trump will make the whole world right wing? No. As if Indian politics wasn't complicated enough. I know, right, Medha? It's kind of insane. पैसे का चक्कर बाबू भैया. Yeah. Bada Sahib spinning in his grave. Yeah. I think he will be confused at this point of time. Bada Sahib Thackeray in his grave must be like, यार कोई explainer दे दो क्या हो रहा है exactly. I have no idea. I look like Melania. I mean, that's not a bad thing necessarily. Oh, grave mat bol. Yeah, true. It's a saying. It's a saying. They're very busy with elections right now. Don't worry. हमको कोई नहीं देख रहा है अभी. Nobody is watching. Okay. Let us begin with call-in radio. I'm going to start the thing and share a link. Give me a second. Let's rename Maharashtra to Westeros. Yeah. There are so many angles to Maharashtra elections. We'll discuss it. We'll do the whole thing properly when we do like the Maha stream on the 23rd of November and a day before also, because so many complicated things. There is the Dharavi issue. The Dharavi is also like it will be a seat that we are going to watch very closely. Then there are like other like RA forest. Then there is the Nagpur factor, which is like Vidarbha में अलग ही game चल रहा है कांग्रेस का. It's kind of crazy. Yeah, nutty है, nutty चीजें. Okay, let's see. Hi Shweta.
Hello.
How are you doing?
How is everyone?
Shweta is
Okay,
here.
chalo.
I'm just going to share the link. एक second.
Regulars have already come and started queuing up.
Oh, they have?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Fair enough.
Should we rename the stage to call in?
मैंने call in ही तो किया है. Call in Friday. That's what the stage is called. You mean the channel?
No, that's... हाँ.
It's okay. Whatever. Like थोड़ा literally ले रहे हैं ना लोग. Last time जैसे किया था.
Yeah.
It's okay. Pin. So this is the link, friends. I have shared it in the chat if you are someone who wants to talk to me. We are going to mostly talk about the US or the Maharashtra elections today. So if you are someone who has thoughts on that, wants to have a conversation on that, so please do. Chat, I'm going to give you some work today. So I was thinking like I'll do like 10-minute calls. So like 10 minutes, and then chat, you can keep a watch on the time also, please, for me. If time is up, you can keep telling me time is up, or you can tell me if you're not interested in what is happening, I'm reading it. So every caller who comes has to impress chat. Yeah. How about that? No, it's okay. 10 minutes generally is what we are going to follow. Okay. Following the style of Jubilee, I was just thinking of that, Aitas. Just thinking of that. Okay, first one is Baka. Hello, Baka. Baka has a duck as a profile. I can't hear you, Baka. So much power, क्या करूँ इसका? Baka, can you hear me? I think your audio is not working, friend. My audio is working, right? Yeah, it is. Baka is gone. अच्छा ठीक है, Baka, I'll get you again. Don't worry. You were first in line. I will get you later. Let's get Kumar till then. Hello.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can.
Awesome. I don't know anything about the Maharashtra elections right now
Okay.
because I was just entertained by the US elections.
That's
So,
fine. That's fine.
yeah. But I do want to know, are you gonna do a live on Maharashtra elections?
Yes, I'm going to do like constant coverage of Maharashtra elections and Jharkhand elections and all the
Oh,
bypolls
yeah,
also. So like I
yeah,
think
Jharkhand elections.
next few
Yeah,
weeks that is
good.
what we are going to do.
Yeah, Jharkhand elections, I have to go and vote. So either way.
Yeah. Yeah, so we are going to do it. Yeah. And I've already done one video on it, like explaining the whole complicated bullshit that is happening. Now I have to do one more adding the Raj Thackeray factor into it. So
Uh-huh.
that's going to be a task.
Yeah. I really liked your video about why Trump got elected.
Okay.
To be very honest, बहुत कम लोगों ने ऐसा take दिया है जो कि is legitimately sane. This includes US के सारे news channels and MSNBC, CNN, all those news channels.
Yeah.
If you follow like US elections, though, I am very much like a Hassan Abi head, so I follow Hassan, Gremlo, all the people जो वहाँ पे हैं, and you यहाँ पे because and Wimo here
Yeah.
in India.
Yeah.
Because there are very few people अभी and the left doesn't exist वहाँ पे यहाँ तो बिल्कुल नहीं है, so
Yeah.
either way
No. I mean, I wouldn't say that. I mean, streaming space में तो definitely नहीं है. Streaming space, I
yeah,
agree.
yeah,
But like, so the one thing that I noticed, I was following a lot of US election coverage and results and everything also. And I saw like a bunch of these videos about why Trump lost, etc. And they got into so much detail, no? कि अरे ये
yeah,
section ने ऐसा vote किया और वो section ने वैसा vote किया and all the things. But people
yeah.
kind of tend to forget that narratives are very powerful, right? I mean, like we've seen it in India, we've seen it everywhere. The reason why I think like the rise of the right wing, quote unquote, is happening all across the world is because they have a very simple narrative which people are buying. That's it.
More than that, I think the ground reality, and this has been true since Obama era, especially US ka, has never, like the Democratic Party in general has always catered to people in the minorities, which Congress यहाँ पे करती है कि हे कोई और ऑप्शन नहीं है, हमें वोट करो, otherwise racist government
Yeah.
आएगी जो तुम्हें और demean करेगी.
Yeah, basically
That bait.
वो भी एक तरीके से डरा ही रहे थे.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They were one was playing offensively, one was playing defensively, but
Yeah.
both were playing the racism card. जो यहाँ पे caste वाला card होता है, same चीज, या religion वाला card होता है, same चीज. It is nothing new.
Yeah.
But because there were a lot of, like Hassan himself said that they should have run a progressive campaign like Obama did, because American people are tired, especially and in general, everyone in our age group are tired of listening to very like क्या उसको बोलते हैं, pragmatic way in which we can deal with problems and not going to the place where we can actually solve them. Symptomatic
you mean?
solution, not causal.
What do you mean? Give me an
So,
example.
I'll give you a very simple example. So, like US में, before Biden got elected, insulin prices were damn high. In fact, Biden got elected because he said that I will lower the prices to like $35 पे
Correct.
उसने cap किया, right? MSP डाला, right? And also unionization. Lina Khan, he elected FTC chair. Lina Khan, right?
Yeah. Oh, that lady is quite kick-ass, huh? Lina Khan.
She everyone hates her except JD Vance, but that's a very different reason. So all these things were the reasons why Joe Biden got elected, in spite of the thing. And people didn't realize. People said, ki, oh, let's replay that same thing and people will be elected. No, like ground reality in US, I know friends जो यहाँ से masters कर रहे US से, they have so much difficulty getting a job, masters and PhD students in comp sci, in tech industries especially. Like people are like, the people with 10 years, go to Reddit or layoffs. See the amount of people with 10 years, 15 years experience who have no job in US, right?
Right.
And you are telling these people to vote because we are not racist. I mean, that is essentially why Modi got elected.
Right.
Because
so
UPA
basically,
government
like
was
ऐसे like एक तरीके से Democrats were like, oh, you are और कहाँ जाओगे तुम? Right? You know,
exactly
like basically all the black voters, all the Indian voters, all the Latinos,
all Latino
all
voters,
the everyone.
especially Latino.
Yeah, exactly. They were like, हाँ तुम लोग तो वहाँ पे vote नहीं करोगे because Republicans is a white party. And why would you vote for them? So ये तो vote हमारे ही तरफ आने वाला है. But what this election showed is that Trump has tapped into like some very interesting areas, like when he's like looking for voters. Yeah, so they're basically like, even if you're voting for you, we are getting nothing in return. So that might as well change. And वैसे भी उनके पास दो ही option है बेचारों के पास.
No, I think that is not true. So the biggest lies that is told is कि ये दो options है. The reason why this is told is because super PACs and APAC.
Yeah. I know. So like basically Jill Stein and all those independents can stand
PSL,
technically.
Rashida Tlaib, and I think I forgot, there was a Spanish leader who stood up for PSL group. PSL is Progressive Party of Left, something like that. So it is essentially who people on the ground जो actually leftist है, जो door to door जाकर के canvassing करते हैं for people asking कि hey, who are you voting for? Why are you not voting? Why are you voting for this party? Why are you independent? What are your issues? All these things. PSL is very active. And सबसे funny चीज़ है, I looked into this so detail कि I was really interested because this is not something new. India में ये हो चुका है. So finding that Americans are as fucked as Indians is kind of a relief, because that tells me that there is some universality in the problems that we are all facing.
Friend,
now.
We are better now. I take high pride in saying that we have passed our shitty era. We are now in like we're in recovery mode. So like
we
please.
should not be very happy because Rahul Gandhi has yet not created a narrative.
No, I see my ideal situation like before our results came in June. I was constantly saying this on stream. My ideal situation is a minority BJP government, which is exactly what happened. So I'm actually quite satisfied right now because I don't like the Congress. I know them from
absolutely.
the UPA. Yeah,
they are the Democratic Party. They are the neoliberal.
No, yes, I like the fact that they have changed because of it, because of like what BJP is, etc. Now they're becoming more progressive, more real also. I mean that's a good change, but that change wouldn't have happened if Modi didn't come.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Fascism happens. Fascism is capitalism in crisis. I actually want to study this more.
Interesting.
I have not looked into it.
That's why the video that that you saw, no, वहाँ पे end में I have recommended 3 books, right? Read Techno-Feudalism, right? And also in Nexus, Yuval Noah Harari talks about this, fascism and what
Nexus.
you're talking about.
Okay, yeah. I have read Yuval Noah Harari के तीनों book मैंने पढ़ा. So Homo Deus, Homo Sapiens, और ये वो जो 21st century
21 questions.
Yeah. The thing is कि these ideas, actually right now I'm reading a very boring book and it is very thick, so it is very hard for me because it's a very core economics book. Have also this time economics mein, if you haven't seen, Nobel Prize went to the people who I think wrote Why Nations Fail, and they said nations fail because institutions are not transparent, which is very, very F towards colonialism and towards countries like China, Singapore, Korea, when notoriously, Hong Kong, when institutions are corrupt. So this is just a way, this is again a very, very क्या बोलते हैं, Western Eurocentric idea of what institutions are, and people have criticized it like throughout. Like there are but the conversation released think pieces, and the Wire also kind of resounded that same thing piece ko. But yeah, the people of right now economically, people in at the top, the consulting class and the people who actually make policies have no idea.
Can I pause you, Kumar? Because I'll get
Yeah.
antsy woman on this call because she's been
Ah.
wanting to talk about this for a while, okay? And she's
Yeah,
in
sure.
queue, I
I'll
see her. So antsy woman had sent me like these papers, but because I was so busy doing other things, I couldn't. So maybe she would be a good person to bring in here. Hi, Antsy, how are you doing?
and see
Surviving.
everyone.
Yes.
Yes. So I'm really interested in this institutions point because my own research is about institutions and how they have long-term effects.
Yeah.
Yes.
And the interesting thing is that after Asimoglu's work, the work that you were citing, that just got the
Yeah.
Nobel Prize, right? There has been a wave of papers coming out that are studying places like India and China.
Yep.
So especially
Indonesia.
for Indonesia and all of these places, is that so I'll talk about India, right? So India's institutional framework is essentially in layers. So for
Yeah.
example, if you look at Mumbai and you look at its housing crisis
Yeah.
in Mumbai, you'll realize that there are about 120 ways of owning land in Mumbai, but only about 8 people own like somewhere around 40% of the
Yes.
land in Mumbai.
Yes.
Because those ownerships come from layers and layers of Portuguese and English institutions that have been honored by the Indian government.
Yes.
So institutionalism, when you look at it in colonized countries, a thing that Asimoglu's work doesn't make clear enough, but later work in the field makes very clear, is that it really messes you up when the institutions that you have are exploitative in the colonial context.
Okay.
Yes.
Pause,
So,
guys. Pause.
yeah.
Okay. मुझे थोड़ा सा बेसिक्स में समझाओ ये सब. Okay, right? So like, I mean, for my sake and for the audience's sake also. What do the economics paper, the Nobel Prize, why did they win it?
Can I just send the article? You can share
That
it.
you can, but
Yeah.
like, tell me, like, basics में, why did they win an economics Nobel Prize?
Okay. Before Asimoglu, what the economics paradigm was, is that people make choices,
Okay.
and the sum total of those choices makes the economy.
Okay.
So the primary actor is the person.
Correct.
Okay. Asimoglu and others' work says that no, you don't only interact with the person as free choice. Your choices are determined by the culture you live in, by the laws you're forced to follow,
Correct.
by the limited, your options are limited by the environment that you live in.
Yeah.
Now the question becomes, what determines those options?
The governments or the systems that are in the
institutions.
systems that are in place.
The institutions. So the
Institutions.
this system dominance. Now one of the big,
Tell me what
like
is
very
the definition of institution here exactly?
yes. So an institution is the laws of the game.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if you think
Laws
about
of the
living
laws
in a
of the
game,
game.
How do you
Game.
mobility कैसे होगी ये framework में? ऊपर नीचे कैसे
हाँ,
जाएगी?
ऊपर
Okay.
नीचे कैसे जाओगे? If you're thinking about the game as living in an economy, what determines or what truncates your access to? So if you think of Amartya Sen, he said that access to anything is determined by your poverty is deprivation. If I don't have access to education, my poverty is not only in the money in my pocket, but the fact that my future is truncated.
Right.
My human
Correct.
resources are
Correct.
gonna be a problem.
मतलब
Correct.
options कम हो जाते हैं
So
ना?
options कम हो
And
जाते हैं.
not only that, it
So-
is a cost that we have to bear later on.
Correct.
It is a debt.
It is a cost you have to pay. If you don't get enough food, you are stunted as a child.
Right.
Your height doesn't grow. Your muscles don't grow.
Makes sense.
Okay. So once that, so this is in a very long line of things. If you look back to Amartya Sen's Nobel Prize, he is saying that poverty is more than money. Then if you look at Angres, Timmins and Card, who got the Nobel Prize, I think 2 years ago, they are saying that it is possible to study economics by studying natural things that happen in the economy without, and you can get good inferences from that.
Okay, but the
Asimoglu's work,
institutions,
yeah,
institutions.
the Asimoglu's work is about institutions. Can you study institutions? Can you understand the scars of colonialism mathematically? That is what he's doing. At its heart
Okay.
is, can you have a framework of thought that can measure properly what institutions have done? So, for example, the first paper
Oh.
he looks at,
No,
yeah,
wait, wait, wait,
he,
wait,
it
wait,
is
wait,
about
wait, wait. Pause.
measurement.
Pause, pause, pause.
Huh.
Pause. Okay. So now, like, would you say that the East India Company is an institution?
Yes,
Yes,
Yeah.
it
like
was.
my
Okay. So
dissertation,
if I
my
look at
dissertation
uh,
is on how the East India Company has changed the economy of modern India. That is what I
Awesome.
study.
okay. Are Ambedkar also did something similar.
Are Ambedkar did very, very good studies. Like Ambedkar is a
Yes.
genius. Like he's a prodigy. I don't think
Yeah.
he.
अच्छा no the guys so chat is saying कि बहुत complex हो रहा है इसीलिए मैं
Oh,
थोड़ा सा
sorry.
dumb
अच्छा.
down करने की कोशिश कर रहा हूँ like I mean I'm
हाँ.
trying but okay so the economics prize was won because now they are saying that institutions have an effect on society economically and can there be like a mathematical model that can figure out how institutions function?
So no, not even mathematical model. Mathematical model के लिए उनको प्राइज नहीं मिला. उनको प्राइज मिला है under measurement of this effect.
ओ मेजरमेंट पे प्राइज मिला ओके सो दे हैव ऑलरेडी फिगर्ड आउट कि कितना नुकसान हुआ
हाँ.
कोलोनाइजेशन से लाइक ब्रिटिश
हाँ.
कोलोनाइजेशन से कैन वी डू द
हाँ.
सेम थिंग फॉर अमेरिका प्लीज
That they are doing it.
They have.
There
They
are
have been.
there are studies on it.
आई मीन
So
अमेरिका एज एन एम्पायर गाइज आई हैव टू से दिस
Half it.
थोड़ा सा
Yes,
डाउनहिल जा रहा है उनका अभी ओके आई थिंक दिस इज अ
so
गुड
the
टाइम
thing is,
टू स्टडी व्हाट इफेक्ट
हाँ.
दे हैव हैड ऑन द वर्ल्ड
Yeah, that is definitely true. But the thing is that institutions are ho- they fundamentally change how you look at things. India has a parliamentary system because it has had the opportunity to construct its new identity on the parliamentary system.
नो आई एग्री
The
अच्छा
US has the Electoral College directly in opposition to the British system and in preservation of slavery.
ओके
Yes,
Uh,
that
but
is
guys,
something that.
sorry, I have to truncate this conversation a bit.
Yeah.
Uh,
Sure. 10
yeah,
minutes is
Yeah,
aap
yeah.
le lena.
yeah.
Sure,
Okay,
sure.
sorry.
Yeah.
And also, like, there are a bunch of people waiting also. So
Yeah.
I will
I get
stop
it.
this here.
I I will go.
Yeah.
I'm sorry
Actually,
if I'm a
But
bit
what
complicated.
we can do and see
no,
one
no.
thing
And
and Kumar, sorry, just
yeah.
one thing. So what we can do is just give us some reading material on this. No, I can put it in the links niche. So in case people want to go
I
and
sent
read
you.
more. Oh yeah, wahi wala. So I'll take that as well.
Haan.
And
There
like
is the greatest hits. It's
yeah,
there.
yeah.
And there is also some podcasts. I'll dig them up and send them.
ठीक है, amazing.
And see, can you okay? And see, can you also send me, because I am also really interested in the other things that are also going on, because
Are you on the Discord?
yeah, I am
I
on
don't know.
Discord. You can DM me directly. No worries.
Yeah, I'll DM. Okay.
Thanks.
Bye bye.
Bye.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.
Okay, just a second. We have more people. Okay, let's get Trouble. Oh wait, Baka is back. Baka पहले आया था, so I'm going to take Baka also and Trouble.
Hello.
Hi Baka, hi. Now I can hear you. Just a second. Trouble, pause. Just pause. Baka, I'll talk to him for a bit and then I'll come to you. Is that okay?
Yes. Thank you for having me, first of all.
Hello.
And hello.
Yeah, go on.
I want to say, first of all, thank you for having me on the debate.
Yeah.
And
No, there's
I
no
want to
debate.
thank
We are
you
having a conversation.
Yeah, I mean that. And thank you for this conversation. I'm currently a student in school, and I really love your channel and love how you present your views.
Thank
and
you.
I just love it, and I want to appreciate all your efforts.
Thank you.
And I want to talk about that. I wanted to talk about when you posted the first live stream about US elections.
Hmm.
That if Trump won,
Hmm.
which he did,
Hmm.
will we see Elon Musk in the weapon manufacturing business as Lockheed and Northrop Grumman?
Well, that's an interesting thought. I won't doubt it. Um, I don't know what role Elon will play in the new Trump administration, but I'm pretty sure he's going to get a bunch of things to do now. But I think one of the things that Elon is going to use Musk for is the Starlink project. Like, I feel like he wants to expand it to all countries across the world. And I feel like his long term vision, in a way, is to control the network so that he can control everything else, right? Like, so if Elon controls the network which provides internet to the world, what can be better than that? It's way better than Twitter, no?
Exactly. And
Yep.
why I thought about this was because I know America is not going to stop the funding to Israel for the weapons.
Yep.
And as Elon Musk is a entrepreneur, and I really think that he will take this opportunity to get into this business as well.
Oh, absolutely. I feel like Elon Musk now, what one of the things that I know Trump has said Elon Musk will be asked to do is that whole, he wants to like cut spending, government spending, and he's like, Elon is the best person to do that. So, like, he's going to make him like some sort of a secretary who does just funding, for cut funding for projects or whatever. Government छोटा करना है, वो करेगा. And I feel like Elon is going to nicely use him to I feel like expand his electric car business, which is like in countries that it does not exist yet. Like, for example, India ke saath, Tesla is not able to make headway into India yet, but I feel like he will make that happen. And also Starlink.
Yeah, exactly. And I just want to also talk about that how nowadays there's the new cool about racism and being racist and being sexist. So, do you believe that after like Trump coming to and the manosphere coming to the power, it will increase a lot?
Increase a lot. I feel like yes, it will. I mean, increase in the sense, it will be more legitimized. I feel like if, so for example, like in a lot of ways elections are also a signaling exercise. So what happened, I remember in 2014, for example, I do believe that Indians inherently were always a bit like casteist. They were a little bit xenophobic. So like there are like these deep down emotions that basically we had generally. What 2014 elections and the whole rise of BJP did was that it gave them the courage to start speaking about it openly, which sort of normalized it, right? ट्रम्प के फर्स्ट टर्म में वो एक वेव हो गया. I feel like it is going to happen for the second time, but in a much more profound way abhi, which is like more racist, sexist, the sort of things will be conservative things will be like legitimized because more people will get courage to talk about those shitty things in public now.
Yes, I truly do agree with that.
Yeah.
As I come from the community, like the SC community, so I truly have seen like casteism in our school and all that. And this new cool, and in India, it's the same. The casteism is now the cool thing with students. Same in my class, and like currently, like I have seen like three types of casteism, like one of which is the root casteism which comes from the religion. Second of it is which comes from the people who don't know about reservation and they hate the reservation, so they hate the reserved communities. And the third is the new, which is like saying caste slurs is the new cool, and it is it is the majority that is with youth. And like in our school, I have seen students like
Do you feel like they'll
slurring.
grow out of it though?
No, I really don't feel like, because teachers push the same agenda, and like their parents push the same agenda.
But I mean
So
that makes sense because honestly, like if your creators, if your role models are people like, I don't know, like Elvish Yadav and whatever, which
Yeah,
are role models at this point of time. It's kind of sad and tragic then, right? Which is like your vocabulary will be completely decided by the creators that you follow, and if the creators happen to be like these people who are who take pride actually in creating content which is provocative, which is just uh, whatever you described, like for example the second thing you said about reservations, right? Like this is like a perpetual thing, right? Which is like people don't understand what reservations are, like that they look at it as a job guarantee scheme, and it's a social justice thing, but like they're not explained properly in school. People don't know why it exists. People don't know that it is a part of the lived experiences of DBA community to be exploited, and there needs to be some course correction on that. वो है point reservation का, but then they focus on the ultimately what you get out of it, right? So that's why I agree with you. It's just really sad, but yeah, बात करनी चाहिए. But
yeah.
I'm really glad you see it though. Why are you so different?
I mean, one thing is that I do come from that community, but my parents have not really like my surname doesn't indicate that I'm from that community. So like people assume that I'm from the general caste. And in
Oh,
school, I have been so there's an incident where in school a teacher came up to me. So like I'm not trying to brag, but I am from like the higher achieving students. So I have teachers coming up to me and saying that like you know you have to work more hard because these SCs and STs will take your jobs, take your seats in schools. And this was being spouted in front of my friends who are from that community and who knew I am from that community, but teachers didn't knew that I was from that community, so they could
wow.
spout it in front of me.
Wow,
And
that's
you know
that's that's crazy, dude. Like I'm so sorry. Wow. Okay.
No, I mean, it's like it's the reality, and at that moment I was like, what should I say? Because there was a person, the teacher knew that the other girl, which I'm talking about, she's also exceptional student, and they were spouting this in front of her, and
Oof.
I was like, what should I do? And this was when I was in like ninth or 10th grade, and I was terrified at that moment that what should I do?
Man, that's scary, man. Like, and like, I'm so sorry that happened to you. But that's my point, right? Like, I would like to believe I might be wrong, right? That earlier,
Yeah.
the teacher would actually think a few times before saying something like this. Honestly, like I feel like earlier, a few years ago, maybe a decade ago, that would be the case. Now it's just so casual, right? It's almost coming to them so naturally, and there are no filters anymore, right? So for example, your teacher, whoever said that horrible person, if they kept it inside them, right? She wouldn't have inflicted trauma on you and your friends wahan pe, right? But the fact that she
Yeah.
didn't think that she should just keep it inside and not say it out loud is like reminder of the fact that we are living in such a different world now. Like people have become just so insensitive.
Yes, exactly. It's same with everything. Like, there have been like multiple teachers, not just with casteism. It's same with religion. So like, there's an incident. It's a crazy incident as well. So in our class, what happened? It was the time of Eid. So I come from a state, Himachal, which is like prominently Hindu. So one of the student on the day of Eid, he stood up and like greeted this teacher as like Eid Mubarak, as you do. So this teacher just busted out, "Are you a Muslim? Why are you saying that?" and all of that crap. And she just went on to say how Muslims are like bad and they eat beef and all that
Oh my
shit.
god, what? Ugh.
Yes. So as I am this kind of dude who is like I get very offended by these things. I stood up and I was like, he didn't say it because he was a Muslim. He said it because we live in a secular country and he's secular.
Right.
And
Wow.
then this teacher went on to say how secular word was
Sorry, is this a private school?
coined by- yeah.
Oh wow, okay. Yeah.
I mean, but to be honest, it's same with government school.
No, I know. I'm just asking. But like, yeah, man, horrible, horrible. No, but I can imagine why this is happening. I mean, I'm not surprised because I've heard like stories being told like this also. But hearing it firsthand is, yeah, man, it's disturbing. Absolutely.
Yeah, exactly. Like, to be honest, at that moment, till that moment, like, secular was a good word. And I really wanted to say to her, like, after 2014, it's when secular became a slur.
Yeah, absolutely.
Before
No,
that,
actually, it was there earlier, but it was not used as a slur, I would say. Like, I mean, people hated it. People I know who were like, oh, ye kya secular, sub fake hair type, whatever nonsense. But yeah, I know what you mean.
yeah, so like these incidences, and like now the new aspect was added that like saying casteist slurs is the new cool, and I was like, what's happening with the society?
Mm. No, but it's important to start talking about this. Absolutely. And I thank you for coming up and talking about this.
Uh,
Thank you for sharing,
Thank you,
man.
sir. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, Baka, I'm going to let you go. Yeah. And I'm going to now talk to Trouble.
Yes, yes. And I just want to say one thing. You
Yeah.
should thank Himachalis. We gave you Kangna, okay?
I should thank Himachal Pradesh for giving me. Fair enough. Fair enough. I should. I'll go there and thank people, at least 10 of them.
Okay. Thank you,
I'll go
thank
to
you
her
so much.
constituency and I'm like, thank you for giving me Kangna. Thank you for putting her in parliament. Like, at least 10 people. I'll do that. Promise.
Yes, thank
Okay,
you.
man.
Bye.
Thanks. Bye. Hello, Trouble. How you doing? It's Trouble here. Trouble. Trouble. Are you here to trouble? और ट्रबल चला गया ओके आई थिंक उसका माइक खराब हो गया होगा या कुछ हुआ होगा फिर से अच्छा ओके ट्रबल कैन बी इन क्यू इज ट्रबल बैक वेट हिमाचल शुड अपोलोजाइज टू इंडिया अरे व्हाट अक्षदीप क्या बोल रहे हो trouble will come later. I'll just take I love save till then. Trouble, you can queue again. I'll take you on again the moment your mic starts
Hello.
working. Hi, I love save.
Namaste.
Hello, how are you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm good. Tell me what you want to talk about.
I wanted to rant about the US election. I'm in Arizona, and this was my first
You
time
wanted to
voting.
rant about?
The US election.
Oh, okay, fair enough. Go on.
I'm in Arizona, and this was my first time voting
Oh,
in my life, and as well as in US.
okay,
So I'm a little bit disappointed by the results, and I
okay,
don't understand like how people can really elect somebody who is a convicted predator
right.
and convicted felon and a predator. So I, I I still don't understand like how people are everywhere are so gullible and so easily trapped into these politicians' words
Hmm.
and fall into prey, and the whole country gets moved or shifted towards one or the other side. I
But
liked your
around you,
analysis.
like, tell me something. My reading
Yeah,
of this, and you can correct me if I'm wrong. I've done a video on this also,
yeah,
right? My reading of this is that
yeah. I saw that.
the people in America, I mean, let's talk about Arizona specifically. Would you say
Right.
that the people in Arizona were worse off post COVID?
What do you mean?
मतलब
Like,
like economically, just around you, did you see people being more distressed? Like, jobs नहीं मिल रहे, महंगाई बढ़ रहा है
no,
type situation.
not necessarily. No. I
Okay.
mean, people were buying houses left and right. The house market was going so good after Corona, and like until now also, it's
Hmm.
the housing market is quite well. It has not depleted like it did in 2008 or those times. I was here in those times as well. And being Arizona is a swing state, so last time it was Democrat, and this time also, and the vote count is like not very far off also. So it's a matter of like maybe 200,000 votes or less than that, which is not much. But I'm still surprised, like how is that even people tipping to that range in all demographics, like males, females, blacks, Latinos, every demographic they could count, they have swung towards the red side, and
Yeah.
that is very disappointing, and I mean, is surprising.
But
And
why do you think that was? Like, I mean, again, see, that's what I was trying to get at, right? Again, my reading would be that they were pissed off with the current government and they didn't trust that Kamala Harris would do a good job. So that's why they voted for Trump.
Right.
Because you have only two options.
right,
I mean, technically you have more options, but actually
Technically.
you just have two options, right? Either this or that.
yeah, that's right.
So then
Yeah,
they were
that's
like,
right. I mean-
I don't trust this person, so like I'll just go with the other one.
Yeah, it was, I think, couple of things that really
Because
mattered was one
blaming
of the
people
things.
is easy, friend.
Yeah.
Blaming
Right,
people is
right.
easy. My thing is,
I understand.
I understand the first instinct of when your candidate doesn't
Mm-hmm.
win, or when your favorite party doesn't win, or someone you support doesn't win. The
Right,
first
right.
instinct is like कि एक तो क्यों हुआ? फिर the second thing is, oh, how
Right.
can people be so stupid? Right?
Right. Yeah.
But then like it kind of then defeats the purpose, because then like you have to also sort of look otherwise, no? Ki, oh, your favorite party / person who was like maybe they didn't do such a great job of convincing people.
That is true. I mean,
Yeah.
obviously that has been playing a big factor.
Yeah.
If you are seeing that such a neck to neck competition, and he's only winning by 200,000 votes, then it is not a big difference. So there was messaging which happened, but it was not enough to tip the scale other way around. And
Yeah.
the timing that Kamala had for 100 days was not enough, obviously. And
No,
whatever
I
she
would
stuck
disagree.
to the agenda.
I would disagree with that highly, because हमारे यहाँ पे elections इंडिया में 15 दिन में हो जाते हैं, friend. Like मतलब campaigning period तो एकदम
नहीं वो yeah,
एक
I
महीना
understand that.
डेढ़ महीना.
पर आप कंपेयर नहीं कर सकते ना apples to oranges, apple to
I know,
mangoes.
I know.
There is difference. वो 10 साल से इलेक्शन लड़ रहा है. ट्रम्प 10 साल से इलेक्शन लड़ रहा है. That's me. Like जब से भी फर्स्ट टाइम वो उतरा एस्केलेटर से, उस टाइम से लेकर आज तक वो इलेक्शन ही लड़ रहा है.
Yeah.
तो उसके पास कितना एडवांटेज है कंपेयर टू कमला हैरिस.
No,
लोग
that's true.
इलेक्शन डे पे जो हाईएस्ट गूगल सर्च हो रहा था, वो ये हो रहा था कि डिड बाइडेन ड्रॉप ऑफ आउट द रेस. Like
That I
people
did
don't
not
even realize.
understand. Dude, I didn't understand how that is the topmost Google search in America, though. Like, I mean, my impression was that Kamala Harris had spent so much money on like advertisement ki it must be everywhere by now.
Yes.
Like, it's
So,
weird.
how can you not think that way? कि भाई people are very gullible. They have fallen for it. They are not very informed कि क्या हो रहा है भाई, क्या
No,
करना
that's
जरूरी
true.
है, क्या नहीं
Again, no,
जरूरी
but
है.
like the information that they need, so the people who vote, like they would vote on a million reasons, right? Like they would give like whatever their reasons are. The information that you need to be an informed person who needs to vote, you can only get by following the news media diligently, reading newspapers and all the things. But people don't do that, right? People listen to podcasts, people
Yeah.
listen to like Joe Rogan type people. They watch streamers.
Apparently.
I mean, young people especially. I mean, yeah, apparently, मतलब उनके numbers तो दिखाते हैं at least. Like, I mean, like they have a giant audience.
नहीं वही हुआ है ना, जो रोगन पे जो आया है वो जीत गया है, तो कौन क्या, वो भी एक फैक्टर है obviously.
Yeah. Like, so, my point being that, you know, like, if you want to be informed, now people think that this is where you need to go to get informed, which is so weird, right? Because वहाँ पे तो
Right.
ट्रम्प के इंडाइटमेंट के बारे में कोई बात नहीं होगा. देयर वोंट बी लाइक एनीथिंग एल्स
नहीं.
दैट दे आर टॉकिंग अबाउट. दे वुड जस्ट लाइक टॉक अबाउट लोग, oh, illegal immigrants are coming in and doing. Arizona is a border
Yeah.
state also, ना?
एरिजोना इज द बॉर्डर स्टेट. यहाँ पे बहुत
Mexican
इलीगल
border.
और इलीगल इमिग्रेंट्स भी हैं. हाँ, बॉर्डर
So-
स्टेट है. पर मुझे आज तक ऐसा लगा नहीं कि यहाँ पे साला वाइल्ड वाइल्ड वेस्ट हो रहा है और आग लग रही है, मतलब आगजनी हो रही है.
But do you
कोई
think
कुत्ते नहीं खा रहा, कोई बिल्ली नहीं खा रहा.
that narrative worked in Arizona, which is the illegal immigration narrative, which is, oh, they are coming to take our jobs
मुझे नहीं
and we
लगता.
need to throw them out.
मतलब if you see the margin, yes, 200,000 votes, but
Yeah.
definitely there are 50% of people who have voted for him. So that narrative is working.
It is. No?
और जो फियर का जो नैरेटिव है, फियर का नैरेटिव हमेशा चलता है, हमेशा. कहीं भी देखो आप,
Oh,
हमेशा
absolutely,
चलता है.
absolutely.
नेतन्याहू ये कर रहा है, मोदी जी ये कर रहे हैं,
Yeah.
ट्रम्प ने ये किया. सब जगह फियर का नैरेटिव चलता ही है.
Yeah. But then tell me, like, now, do you think the Democrats will do something radically different? Or do you think they'll just like continue doing whatever they've been doing?
वही मेरा क्वेश्चन इनको भी था कि मतलब व्हाट डू यू थिंक कि नेक्स्ट कौन हो सकता है जो इनके कैंपेन में आ सकता है. क्योंकि ट्रम्प तो गया, अब वो तो नहीं आ सकता वापस, अनलेस वो कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन चेंज कर दे या कुछ कर दे. तो वो वापस आ सकता है इसमें. पर मुझे नहीं लगता 82 इयर्स में उसको इतना कुछ होगा. मतलब उसको बस जीतना है. उसका प्रॉब्लम ये है कि मैंने कल एक वीडियो देखा एक बंदे का, तो वो बता रहा था कि उसको बस जीतने की लालसा है, कि मेरे को बस जीतना है, जीतना है, जीतना है.
Yeah,
और उसके
also he
बाद फिर
wants
कुछ
to
करना
pardon
नहीं. वो
himself,
गोल्फ
no?
खेलेगा जाके.
No, I
हाँ.
have a theory why Trump did this. One, to pardon himself, right? Because now he's immune
वो
from
भी.
prosecution.
Yeah.
Second is he wants to earn a shit ton of money with crypto, right? He started a
Yeah.
cryptocurrency business also on the side, which is great, right? And I think the
Right.
third thing is
Right.
that I think he was bored. I genuinely think like for the 4 years that he was not president, he was very bored. And he was like,
नहीं,
he was
सही-
thinking of
सही बोल रहे हो.
revenge.
उसको रिवेंज, यस.
Yeah.
वो फर्स्ट टाइम जब ओबामा ने उसका मजाक उड़ाया वो प्रेस कॉन्फ्रेंस में, इफ यू रिमेम्बर दैट, कि जब ओबामा ने उसके मजाक उड़ाया था फर्स्ट टाइम प्रेस कॉन्फ्रेंस में, जब वो बर्थर इशू लगा रहा था
Yes.
कि इसका बर्थ सर्टिफिकेट दिखाओ, और उसके बाद जब उसने मजाक उड़ाया ना ओबामा ने, उसके बाद से उसकी सटक गई. उसके बाद उसने बोला कि मेरे को अब जीतना है.
So basically,
इसने मेरा मजाक उड़ाया, मैं वाट लगा दूंगा.
oh God.
मुझे तो ये, मेरी थ्योरी तो ये है.
That's such a,
उसके
this is
बाद
such
से
a
उसका इतना
fun timeline, no, we are living in, where Obama like made fun of someone and now he's just like the worst fascist
Yeah.
that the world would have ever seen, probably.
And the best comeback in US election history
Yeah,
ever.
I know.
Like unimaginable.
I was like, Rahul Gandhi ने क्या comeback किया है? Then I saw Trump and I was like, holy mother of God, like this is next level.
Yeah, it is next level.
Yeah.
और मुझे लगता है कि और 2-3 फैक्टर्स भी थे जो कि इलॉन मस्क एक बहुत बड़ा फैक्टर है.
Yeah.
क्योंकि उसके पीछे लोग इतने पागल हैं, पागलों की तरह. मतलब यहाँ पे मैं देखता हूँ हर जगह टेस्ला. मतलब
Yeah.
हर जगह टेस्ला घूम रही है भाई. मतलब मैं मेरे को लगता है कि उसका जो रीच था और उसने जो ट्विटर को कैप्चर किया और ट्विटर के अंदर जो एक साइलो बना दिया है इन सब के लिए, तो उसकी वजह से और ज्यादा प्रमोशन हो रहा है, फ्री में प्रमोशन हो रहा है. मतलब सोशल मीडिया की पावर इज वेरी वेरी हाई. जो आदि तो उसकी जेब में है. ट्विटर इज लाइक अ बिग प्लेस
Yeah.
और वो उसकी जेब में है.
No, I
और
understand
वो
that, absolutely.
ऐसी ऐसी चीजें पेडल कर रहा है, कॉन्स्पिरेसी थ्योरी अपने खुद के अकाउंट से और ट्विटर के एल्गोरिथम से या व्हाटएवर.
Yeah.
I mean, I won't go into that kind of conspiracy theory, but कि वो ट्विटर को राइट साइड स्वे कर रहा है.
No, कर रहा है.
but
Correct.
उसके
I
खुद
am
के
going to do
अकाउंट
an
से कर रहा है.
I'm going to do an experiment. I'm going to start an account on Twitter one day. New account, and then I'm going to see how long it takes me to go into the right wing side. Like, because the algorithm is actively, definitely, for sure now, I can tell, like
Yeah.
the people who I don't
Yeah.
even follow are like basically always there on my timeline. It's just
Showing.
it's showing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
एग्जैक्टली. और उसका तो दिखता ही है. मतलब आप उसको फॉलो कर. मैंने अभी मेरे को हमेशा उसका मैसेजेस नोटिफिकेशन आते हैं कि इसने ट्वीट किया. मतलब इसका क्यों आता है मेरे को? फिर मैं जाके देखा, मैंने उसको फॉलो कर रखा था 3-4 साल 5 साल पहले, व्हाटएवर, आई डोंट रिमेंबर. पर अभी एकदम उसके नोटिफिकेशन आने लग गए थे कि भाई उसने कुछ पोस्ट किया है. तो फिर मैंने उसको अनफॉलो किया. फिर उसके बाद उसके नोटिफिकेशन आने बंद हुए. मतलब इट इज कि एक बार आप सक इन होने लग जाओगे तो आपको पूरा खींच लेंगे
True.
और पूरा उधर ले जाएंगे.
Okay,
But
I
वही मेरे
love
को समझ नहीं
save.
आ रहा है मतलब.
I love save. I'm
Yeah,
going to stop
thank
you
you very
here.
much.
Yeah, and
Sure,
like,
sure. Thank you
yeah.
very much.
Thank you so much, man.
Yeah,
Thank you for coming
thanks.
up.
Yeah,
I hope this
thanks.
helped you, like somehow. I
Yeah,
don't know.
definitely.
Made you feel
It
better.
definitely helped venting out
Yeah,
and talking it out. Thank you
yeah.
very much, and thanks for all your videos and effort, and I really
Thanks,
appreciate that.
man. I love save. There is just
Yeah,
one thing that I want you to respond
yeah,
to. Ashutosh Bhatt
yeah.
is saying meltdown to you and us. What do you want to say?
Meltdown. Yeah, I mean, sure, I can accept it. I
हाँ हाँ हाँ
definitely
बिल्कुल.
it is a meltdown.
अगर तुम्हारे फेवरेट लोग हार रहे हैं तो थोड़ा सा बुरा तो लगेगा ना. It's okay.
Hello.
हाँ हाँ sorry you were saying.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, why not? I mean,
Yeah,
I'm
it's
a
okay.
human.
Yeah. Absolutely. You can feel sad. You're allowed to feel sad. It's okay.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. If you call it meltdown, yes, it is a meltdown.
Absolutely. Thanks, man. Thanks so much. Bye. Let's take Jay. Uh, uh, uh.
Hey, can you hear me?
Hello. Hi, Jay. How are you doing?
Hey, just give me 1 second.
So, देखो, Ganesh Naik is ass burning, right? Like left simper. और क्या है? Oh, Ganesh Naik, are you the one who left like infinite comments on my video? Are you that Ganesh Naik who left like some 15 comments on my video? Because someone called Ganesh had left those and like ऐसे ही क्वालिटी के थे सब. गणेश तुम ही लग रहे हो. यही क्वालिटी था शायद कमेंट्स का.
Hey, am I audible?
हाँ, you are audible, Jay.
Hey, hi. Hi, Meghnath. First of all, yeah, big fan of your work, and
Thanks,
like
man.
I really appreciate like all the efforts that you go through to like kind of revitalize the like uh like the young voter base, I guess, for our country. Like I think the conversations that you have that you are bringing forward back in the mainstream, I would say, is definitely relevant, and I definitely appreciate the effort.
Thanks, man.
And I wanted to
But
like
I do have to
uh
say that you are giving me too much credit, though. I mean,
no, I don't think so. I
okay.
think like the I think the best part of your effort is that you have built a community, and you drive these people to do more. So it's not just what you do, but about the people that you have brought together, and that amplifies many other voices. So you're not just doing it by yourself. So it's more than it's uh it's more than the sum of its parts, I would say.
Thanks, man. Thanks. Much appreciated.
Yeah, having said that, I would now like to contradict you on something that you said a couple of weeks ago. I was
Okay.
trying to talk to you. I was on the call, but I
Okay.
didn't get through. So yeah, if I remember correctly, I heard you appreciate the free speech system, the system of free speech, and the freedoms that US takes very seriously. And I think that's like a massive propaganda point that the US yeah,
Takes free speech very seriously.
repeat over and over again in order to sort of preserve its hegemony and uphold its status as the leader of the free world. But it's absolutely not true.
Okay.
And I would like to draw your attention to a couple of points.
Okay.
Try looking up what happens to people who say free Palestine. In the US, try looking up what happened to the Japanese people during the World War II period, the Japanese American people, and also try looking up what the FBI did to MLK Jr.,
Right.
Martin Luther King,
Yeah.
and you'll know exactly what the US means when it says it takes free speech very seriously. So yeah, that's what I wanted to bring to your attention. So
So
if
like
the free speech in the US is a complete
no, comparatively, okay, if I have to compare, for example, sure, I get it. Like, I mean, I know what you mean, where like this government is clamping down on certain people and there are certain messages, etc., that too will happen. Like, it can never be pure absolute free speech. No government will allow that, right? There will always be some leader or authoritarian figurehead who will try to clamp down on speech, right? Like, it's just inevitable at this point of time. But my thing is, if you want to look at if you want to judge free speech in a country, like, you can judge it based on something like India may, for example, one not recent but like very famous example is two girls who were arrested for saying that they have been inconvenienced because of Bala Saheb Thakre's funeral. Like, the traffic was high, etc. Two people were arrested for that, right? The law allows this in India. Like, UAPA, sedition, defamation.
Yeah.
All these laws exist in India,
Yeah.
right? Which allow the state to clamp down on individuals, right?
Yeah.
America may, I feel like it's a little better.
I get your point, but I would still disagree. Like, I know, like, the laws that you point are basically remnants of a colonial era, and our entire justice system and the system of judiciary is was modeled in the image of the British court systems and justice system, which is basically a carceral justice system, which is antithetical to the idea of freedom, right? So the courts are to preserve the interests of big money. It's not going to look after our rights and our freedoms. That's just a catchy line. That's just what we write on the tin.
I think Prashasya is agreeing with you and saying America free speech is very good until you are Assange, Julian Assange. Like, another good example of that, what you're talking about. Yeah. And also like Snowden.
Yes, absolutely. So, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So there is a documentary called Citizen 4, and
I saw that.
Your mind will be blown if you see it.
I saw that.
Yeah.
I agree. Look, so when you put it that way, yes, I agree with you. I agree with you.
Yeah. Also, America does not have a two-party system. That's a common misconception. America has a one-party system where there are two factions, and both factions are fascist. So they agree on the most important policy decisions, and especially when it comes to the foreign policy decisions, which is the more consequential ones. So the two factions are one, which is the lunatic Christo-fascist populist faction, which the one that Trump leads currently, which is the Republican Party, and the one which is a neoliberal, fascism, which is the Democratic Party, which was like led by the likes of Obama, Hillary Clinton, and then Biden, and lately Kamala Harris.
That makes makes a lot of sense actually to me. Yeah.
Yeah, so people think of Trump as this big hate-mongering bigot, right? He ran on anti-immigration agenda and he said, we're going to start deporting people the day I get in the office. If you look up the stats, Obama did more deportations in the in his first term than Trump's first term. Obama dropped so many bombs on, I think Obama started the drone program in Iraq and Afghanistan.
Yeah, he did.
He greenlit the drone program.
Yeah,
so,
I remember this one thing. Sorry, just interrupting. One very terrifying sort of video I had seen of this. I believe like a very young girl, a teenage girl, who was, I believe she was before a committee which was looking into all these bombings in Afghanistan, like drone bombings in Afghanistan, where she basically was like, the scariest thing for them was that they were scared of clouds. And like when the committee asked why, is like because the clouds meant that there would be drones who would be coming and hiding behind them and bombing us. So it's like when we were so scared of going out whenever we saw clouds, it's like, I was like, what? It's like as a 11-year-old, she went out, she saw clouds and she got scared. That is not a great existence, boss. And that was during Obama's time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you can only understand, like, in America, like, I don't know who said it, but there is a very famous line, scratch a liberal and a fascist bleed. So the so-called liberal left people, so the so-called liberal left are actually quite far right, and like Trump getting elected, I was secretly quite happy to see Trump get elected because it's a
Okay.
uh, symptom of the fascist system like collapsing in on itself. So I don't know if you have seen a lot of what Trump did in his like a lot of policy decisions that Trump took in the first term, but they were extremely detrimental to the US and its domestic economy. So, so on the surface, the stock market did really well, but like protection, income protections and welfare, he took a sledgehammer to all these safety nets in the society, right? And also for I think for healthcare and all, like most of these institutions got defunded, education, and the only saving grace was Trump's incompetence. Only saving grace for America was Trump's incompetence, because when the day he got into the office, he had no idea. He was basically a troll candidate
But
when he
now he
first got
won't be.
elected
No,
in
now he
2016.
knows what to do. Now he's had 4
Yes,
years in the
exactly. So
middle to
now,
think and plan also.
yes, and he also has the Project 2025 going
Yeah.
for him.
Yeah.
So now comes the hard part, right? So the second term is not going to be anything like the first term, and it's going to be much more destructive, and that is basically good news for the world. So
It's good
I hate
news
to
for the
sound
world, you're
so.
saying.
Yes, I hate
How?
to sound so. I would say I don't know. Cruel, I guess. But anything that is bad news for America is actually good news for the world, because it weakens the hegemony, it weakens the chokehold that America has on the world. So
You're
yeah,
true.
that's what I'm hoping from a Trump presidency,
I
and that
like that.
happened because America became the laughing stock of the world between 2016 and 2020.
So basically, like, America
And
should stop
yeah,
being like the police of the world. I think it's done now. I think it's over. Like that's
yes,
what the whole thing is. Like,
yes,
like people that day, people were asking me, like, someone was saying to me very randomly, like Twitter pe or somewhere, which is like, oh, why are you so interested in the US elections? Why are you like paying so much attention to it? I'm like, कि भाई, that country world police बन के बैठा है, whether I like it or not, whatever they are doing is affecting me anyway, right? Culturally,
yeah, exactly.
technologically, सब जगह से तो assault कर रहा है वो country सब लोगों पे, पूरी दुनिया पे, right? And I'm not supposed to care about their elections. It is basically like a world election, right?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
And so basically, what this means, at least for me, is the way I see it is that the neoliberal, so-called liberal democratic world order is dead. There is there is light on the horizon. I don't know how tomorrow is going to look like, but I hope it's better than today. And definitely, I feel for the actress communities in the US. If you have been following the stories, I have some friends, I have some contacts in the US, and some black students in universities have been getting like hateful messages already, and uh, so that's quite disturbing.
That's very disturbing. Yeah.
Yeah, so there are mobs marching in the streets, and it has the election has basically the results have basically galvanized the worst sort of communities in the US.
No,
And
that's true.
yeah, and I'm going to leave you with this. Just if you want to look at the worst possible outcomes of a Trump presidency, please look up RFK Jr.
Yeah, I know. I've seen. Yeah, like I was reading up on him. Crazy guy,
Yeah,
and he's now going to be in charge of health or
yeah.
something.
Yes,
Yeah.
Trump has promised him the entire health department, and he has said that like food, if the Department of Food and Drug Administration has to go entirely or something. So and he also wants to ban vaccines and stuff. So it's bizarre. It's completely
Yeah.
bizarre.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you, Jay. I'm going to let you go now.
Yep.
Thank Thanks, man. Thanks
So-
for coming up. So, like chat, you were saying that Jay was very hateful towards America. I get that, but I also understand that sentiment from a lot of people. Uh, yeah, I do. Colonial powers को कभी कभी थोड़ा सा hatred मिलना चाहिए. It's okay. They can take it. America is most powerful country in the world. They can handle. Removing fluoride from water. Oh yeah, that is what another thing that he's going to do, no? So Americans will not have great teeth then. They'll turn into jelly. Hello, democracy is tiring. How you doing?
Hey, Megnath, how are you? How
I'm
have you
good.
been?
I'm
Happy
good.
Diwali.
Happy Diwali to you as well.
And also, it's been a long time since I've spoken to you.
Yeah.
And I think my name, again, it makes sense for the current situation with America.
Yes, I know.
But it's good to know that, for us, the stakes relatively is low. I mean, since it's not our country, though it has some influence and all, but it's bigger. And I would like to also say once again the pollsters have screwed themselves over, and
Oh
I'm glad it's
yeah.
happening in America also.
Yeah, absolutely. अब दुकान बंद कर देना चाहिए basically all around the
अरे
world.
ये
Pollsters should be like, okay, नहीं होता हमसे अब ये.
ये जॉन स्टुअर्ट का रैंट सुना क्या डेली शो पे? He told us
Which
to fuck
one?
off. अरे नो अबाउट
Which
द
one?
पोलस्टर्स एग्जिट पोल्स के बारे में उसने रैंट किया.
ये
बोला
नहीं सुना
प्लीज गो
मैंने.
फक योरसेल्फ फॉर द नेक्स्ट ईयर एंड प्लीज डोंट कम बैक.
Yeah, absolutely. Agreed, absolutely. Like that Pradeep Gupta fellow, when he did the 400 par ka ye, and everybody was like, oh, Pradeep Gupta has said it, so must be true type thing. And then later he came back, boss. Haryana election में फिर से गलत था वो.
So Haryana, and now I'm pretty sure he'll get it wrong in Maharashtra also, क्योंकि ये बंद तो नहीं करेगा उन लोग का
ओ ये
धंधा.
महाराष्ट्र में और गलत होगा फिर तो.
I know. I am actually
Crazy.
looking forward to him crying again on
Yeah.
TV.
Yeah.
So, yeah, but yeah, let's talk about the US election. Actually,
Yeah.
it was like a fun thing to watch as an outsider. I mean, yeah, I'm not happy with the results that have come out, but take care, since it doesn't impact us directly. It's pretty good to see that even over there things don't go according to plan for the most part.
Yeah.
But I believe, see, I've heard you say this previously on live streams and all, saying that the impact of social media now and people getting information on social media. It is actually, I think the US election has kind of shown that there is a huge amount of, like it does have a very huge amount of impact. That Joe
Oh,
Rogan
absolutely.
podcast, I mean, at least I don't know about the liberals and all, but for the right wingers, it definitely galvanized a huge amount. I mean, just the
Absolutely.
numbers.
And you know why? So, sorry, just to add to your point, the reason why I think they have influence is not just because they're giving information online and people are accessing it. No, that's not what I mean. I feel like these are the people who are giving people vocabulary, which is a lot more important, right? Like, so there is information, like factual information or whatever information which you can give
No,
people.
I wouldn't call it factual. I never
No,
think Joe
whatever
Rogan is anything
information
factual.
people you
Yeah,
can give
it's
through
just
news.
access to information and access to the information directly from the source. Now, for example, in this
No,
case,
what I mean to say is, look, for example, traditionally, if you look at news, right? News is supposed to inform people about facts, what is going on, events,
yeah,
etc.,
yeah,
etc.
yeah.
Right? But what people are looking at is not the news anymore. They're
News
looking at
more, exactly,
they're looking at
exactly. They
people
are not
who are
concerned with facts at all.
opinionating.
Yeah. But what he did was he just gave the platform for this guy to talk for 3 hours.
Yeah.
Like, and basically the Americans got access to Donald Trump talking shit for 3 hours.
Yeah.
Whether it, so, and they felt it was unfiltered. I don't know. I'm pretty sure there was a lot of filtering in that also. I don't think Donald Trump can just hold a sentence and like go on without going on a tangent, and he calls it the weave apparently, which
Yeah.
is just like
The
not
weave.
answering
Yeah.
questions.
Yeah.
And secondly, I mean, there's one positive thing to take from this. Like, so if you've seen the last administration of Donald Trump, all the people who helped him eventually got caught up in legal cases and went to jail and all. So I
Yeah.
think there is a very good chance that we can see Elon Musk and all these guys eventually, you know, paying a price for this. Like they may look like people who are helping them right now, but if anything, if his last administration has shown anything that anyone who helped him, eventually he backstabbed them, and then
Yeah.
eventually they went to jail for his crimes.
Yeah,
It was
every
like
time.
really fun.
So I think with Trump is what the thing with Trump I feel like is that until you are agreeing with him, he is friends with you. But the moment you oppose him or criticize him about something or
I
don't
mean,
let
no,
him do
you don't
something
even
that
have
he
to
doesn't
oppose
want
him
to,
or anything. The
huh?
moment he realized there is some sort of hatred or some sort of blame, or if the crowd or the people that he goes and rallies to have shown some negative thing, he'll immediately throw you under the bus. He doesn't care also. He's like,
Yeah.
oh, this guy was a good guy until he was not. He was a stupid fellow. I don't know why I took him. Like that John Bolton guy and all these guys that he took initially, even the state attorney general that he selected first.
Yeah.
Initially, he was like, "Oh, this guy is like a very like he would set a very pro-white agenda. He would put all the drug traffickers and so all in jail." And then he started calling him out only. He was like, "No, he's not listening to what I want him to do. He's doing what he wants." And I'm like, "What the hell?"
Yeah. Yeah, I know what you mean. Man,
So
I haven't seen that Joe Rogan ka podcast yet. I'll see it though now.
no,
Now
don't
that
don't see it now. Now, what's the point of seeing it? He's got like 4.3 crore views in 2 days. I don't give him more views, man.
he now
It's like
has 447 million views on
yeah,
that.
4.7,
47 million.
4.7 crore.
That's
And this is
crazy.
And this is, and like most of them are claiming that when the interview went, like when it went on, apparently Google and all was shadow banning it. Like YouTube was shadow banning it. So these 4.2, 4.7 crore ka jo numbers hai,
Huh.
that is after it was suppressed by Google. So
Wow.
he's saying like, dude, I have just put the interview out. People are seeing it, yet it was not shown on the trending page,
Oh yeah, yeah.
considering it's a
नीचे लिखा
3 hour
हुआ है.
podcast.
नीचे लिखा हुआ है. Comments maybe how is this not number one trending 33
One
million
trending
in 2 days is crazy.
2 days and all that. Yeah. So he was saying that this was shadow ban. So like actually initially like when these posters said oh it could be cut to cut and it could go either Kamala and all. Till the Joe Rogan podcast came out, I was like yeah it might be 50-50. Once I saw that there's like 4.3 crore views,
Yeah.
I was like balls it's 50-50.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
then
yeah.
he's only going like, how can it be 4.3 crores after it being shadow banned? And
Yeah.
then she goes on to other podcasts. I think she goes on to some Call Me Daddy and Club Shay Shay
Ha ha
podcast,
ha.
and you can see the views she's getting over there is like 1 million, 2 million, somewhere around that. And like then the contrast, like mathematically, if there is that big a gap, then you have to consider that
Yeah.
it was always going to go his way,
No,
no matter what the
absolutely.
media was showing.
Absolutely. I also saw like I mean I was looking at the views last time I saw it. It was something like 3 crore type views.
3 crore types, yeah,
And
yeah, yeah.
I'm seeing it's like wow, dude, this is crazy.
I was surprised and like I mean see
Dude,
I
Joe
was
Rogan has
particularly
influence, okay? We live in a world where Joe Rogan has
forget
influence.
that if this thing if this is something that is a trend and if BJP and Congress feels that this trend is something worth going after,
Emulating.
then then Ranveer Ahmadiyya is going to be the most powerful guy in India now.
Oh, that's true.
Consider-
That's exactly what I mean, right? Like for example, that's what I mean, right? Like Ranveer Alabadia and all these Ajit Bharti and all these type of people, man, they
Mm,
do have like insane reach. I mean, there is no denying it. I mean, they do
mm,
have like quite a lot of influence now. It's kind of
yeah,
interesting. It also is very
no, and
encouraging. It's very encouraging for content creators.
no, content. I feel at this point now, content creation game, or at least the podcasting game, will now hold a lot of like people. If they don't take this like if the other countries that are going to have elections soon don't look at America as an example, because this is kind of now like a trend setting thing. This will have become now, if this has worked now, if JD Vance and Donald Trump have gone on an election, they saw this thing. Now I am telling you, Joe Rogan will get all the political interviews going forward for any
Oh,
election, any
absolutely.
state
Like, I mean,
election, any county
direct
election.
access. And
Yeah.
I know why Trump went on Joe Rogan. It was, I think, because of Elon Musk.
Yeah. Dude, Elon was before this 2-3 months before there was this some US podcaster called Patrick Bet David.
Huh.
He had gone on Joe Rogan and he was like trying to tell Joe Rogan, "Arey, get Trump, get Trump, get Trump."
Yeah.
To give Joe Rogan some credit, also he's aware the kind of influence he extends. So he did endorse Trump on the last day.
Yeah.
He didn't endorse him like few months back, and he had a lot of pressure from them to like endorse. I think once they realized whether he endorses or not, Trump is going to win, karke, then he gave his endorsement. So then by that way, he's keeping himself also safe. Because there is one thing I think, because these guys are stand-up comics at the end of the day,
Yeah.
all these people. So no matter how much right-leaning and all they try to show, I feel considering the struggle and the kind of views they have for coming up with all their comic jokes and all, they are pretty liberal in their senses. It's like just once they reach that 200, $300 million net worth, then they start thinking right-leaning because they want to save on taxes and get tax breaks and all that shit. Otherwise, more or less, all these comics are by default they are pretty liberal in their upbringing, because if you see their struggle, it's like they come from literally like they have to struggle initially with nothing. Then after being in the struggle for like 10, 15 years, then they get their big breaks, then they
Yeah.
get their big money and all that. No? So I don't know, something like that.
So yeah,
And
I
about
mean, yeah, I
Farah,
get that. Like, I mean, like when you start getting the money, then
then you start becoming right leaning. Then you start
yeah,
thinking, oh yeah.
I get it. I get that.
So
I guess, yeah. I mean, like people are socialist till they are poor, no?
poor, yeah, because at
and
that
then
point
and
they
then once
require
they
the
get
government
money,
support.
yeah, it's like
Once they get their own money, then they're like, "Arey, dude, why is the government supporting people? Look, we
exactly.
can do it by ourselves."
Yeah.
He won't like he has only said on his podcast like he used to live on food stamps and all. Back when he was a child,
Hmm.
like his parents did not have much, so they were
Hmm.
living on food stamps and this and that, right? And now he's like, "Oh, food stamps and all is a waste of money." I'm like,
Yeah.
"Kya chutyagiri kar raha hai?"
Yeah. Absolutely. Okay, I'm going to
And
let you go, friend. I think I'm going to move on.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, and yeah. Thanks a lot for letting me talk. Thank
Thanks,
you.
man. Okay. I think this is a familiar person.
Am I audible?
Hello. Hi. Triton.
You're not audible to me once again, please.
I'm not
Hello?
audible to you?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Yeah. Tell me.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can.
That's the issue.
Hello.
Hello.
I can hear you. Tell me.
I'll be rejoining. Let's see if that fixes it.
Okay. I think Okay. Let's take Truth Seeker till then. Truth Seeker will come. I'm just going to read some super chats till Truth Seeker. Hi, Truth Seeker. How are you doing? Just a second, now.
Yes, sir.
Hi, Truth Seeker. Just hold on. 1 second, hold on. Yeah. Okay. Devendra, thank you for the support. Krish, thank you for the support. 10 months. Thank you. Let's rename Maharashtra to Westeros. Ashutosh, thank you. Gaurav, Rajat, Gaurang. Gaurang has upgraded to super support. Thank you. Mayank and Vedang for 3 months. Thank you for the 3 months. 50 words are not enough to appreciate you. Oh, that's thank you so much. Selva Kumar, really liked your facts or not facts video. It's true for all left, center, liberal parties all over the world. Liberals have let us down. Arey! अरे सेल्वा कुमार जी, thank you for the support, but ऐसे मत बोलो sir. Liberals have let everybody down, seems. Srujan, thank you for the 10 months. From your last video on Not Facts, recommend Eugene Ionesco's play Rhinoceros. It's a simple allegory on the rise of fascism in Europe. There are several great performances of the play on YouTube as well. Oh, thank you so much, Srujan. I'll check it out for sure. Thank you. Ranadeep, thank you for the 10 months. I hope you're doing well. Are we not going to talk about US DOJ moving to wind down Trump criminal cases before he takes office? On another topic, did you play Black Myth Wukong? Yes, I did play Black Myth Wukong for a while. Then I got distracted. I have to get back to it. But that's what I do. I'll come back to it later. But I love the game, by the way. And yeah, DOJ, I saw that like they're winding down his cases, etc. But that is what is expected, right? I mean, I guess, I don't know, man. Like, I mean, like, should they have stuck on? Should they have continued the case? I'm a little unsure on that, because it just felt very natural to me that is naturally what is going to happen, sort of a thing. Okay, Truth Seeker, hi. How are you doing?
Hello, namaskar.
Hi. How are you doing? What do you want to talk about?
तो मैं ये सोच रहा था कि आज थोड़ा सा जो रिकॉर्ड है थोड़ा सा स्ट्रेट किया जाए ट्रम्प के बारे में.
ओके.
एंड लास्ट कुछ इयर्स मेरे इन्वेस्टिगेटिव जर्नलिज्म प्लस इंडिपेंडेंट रिसर्च में गुजरे हैं.
ओके.
सो कुछ ऐसी चीज़ें मिली हैं लाइक जो बहुत ही डिफरेंट है, जो आज पर्सपेक्टिव हम देख रहे हैं उनसे. सो लेट्स टॉक अबाउट यूएस इलेक्शंस.
ओके.
मैंने आज तक यार ये किया नहीं एक्चुअली. थोड़ा सा
What are you saying? Sorry.
थोड़ा सा नर्वस हूँ यार मैं बात करने में आज.
नर्वस हो?
यस सर.
अरे क्यों नर्वस हो? क्या what do you want to talk about? Tell me.
सब कुछ भी
सब कुछ. No, you want to talk about the US election. What is it that you want?
Yes sir, US elections.
Yeah.
So US elections में इस समय जो हुआ है, जो अभी तक इतना हाइप हो रहा है जिसके लिए, बिकॉज कि ट्रम्प की सबसे एपिक कमबैक विन रही है. प्लस उसके साथ जितने भी अब नेगेटिव मीडिया इमेज में दिखा रहा है ट्रम्प को, यही मीडिया 2014 से पहले उनको फुल ऑन उसमें हाइप में दिखाते थे. उनकी
ट्रम्प को
उनसे बात करने में हाँ ट्रम्प को
2000
ट्रम्प व्यू में जाता था.
2016 you mean?
जब तक ट्रम्प ने उससे पहले ऑफ कोर्स सॉरी 16 से पहले. तो जब तक उन्होंने अपनी प्रेसिडेंसी वो नहीं करी थी
ओके
अनाउंस, उससे पहले सब साथ में थे, सब फ्रेंड्स थे, दे लव ट्रम्प. और उसके बाद जैसे
but you have to realize that back then Trump was a celebrity and उसका ना tabloid space में बहुत influence था. Right, so he was very good at planting news and being friends with like people who are in the tabloid space, जो scandals, New York high society के बारे में बात करते हैं, all the people. And then every once in a while he would give like a political opinion, but that would also be covered by his tabloid friends. I think he came more on the mainstream news around the time he announced that he's going to run for president, etc.
एक्चुअली उसके बाद बढ़ी, बट एक्चुअली नेगेटिव में बहुत ज़्यादा बढ़ी ना. दे हेटेड हिम, बट व्हाई दे हेटेड हिम, दैट वाज द रीजन.
श्योर ओके.
सो जस्ट मैं अपना पर्सपेक्टिव दूंगा एंड जो लाइक मुझे मिला है अपनी रिसर्च में. सो आई थिंक जो मिलिट्री बैकग्राउंड के थे जो सब, वो देख रहे थे कि बाइडन ये ओबामा ने, जैसे हमने वो वाला एक पर्सपेक्टिव पे बात करी कि रेगुलरली बॉम्ब गिरा है, कितने सारे जो मिडिल ईस्टर्न कंट्रीज थी वो बिल्कुल खत्म हो चुकी है ओबामा के 2 एडमिनिस्ट्रेशंस में. सो ये सब दोबारा ना हो, इसलिए मिलिट्री ने अप्रोच किया था ट्रम्प को टू रन फॉर द प्रेसिडेंट.
ओके.
और आई थिंक 15 to 20 डेज तक उनको दिखाया गया कि ये हो रहा है और ऐसे इन्होंने ट्रीजनस थिंग्स किए हैं और एनिमी को वेपन्स दे दिए. वो तो सबने देखा ओपनली.
ओके.
जो फाइनल वो करवाए वर्स्ट।
ओके।
और उसके साथ अब एप्स्टीन आइलैंड वाला ओपन हो गया है।
हाँ
पीडीडी वाला,
हाँ
राइट? पीडीडी तो अरेस्ट हो गया है। और जो ये सब इस समय कमाला हैरिस को इंडोर्स कर रहे हैं एक साथ, सबके सब, दे वर ऑल फ्रेंड्स विद पीडीडी, जो हाईएस्ट टॉप। और इसमें ही वो वाला वो आ जाता है ना पर्सपेक्टिव, जिसको लोग कॉन्स्पिरेसी थ्योरीज बोलते हैं।
yes, I mean that does sound like a conspiracy theory honestly. Like and in
Yes,
Epstein
of
Island में
course.
तो Epstein Island के बारे में बात करें तो उसमें तो ट्रम्प का भी नाम था. Epstein was great friends with Trump.
बट कभी भी उसकी ब्लैक लिस्ट में वो नहीं आया ना। और जो लीगल
Dude,
वो भी
there
प्रोसीडिंग्स
is
हुई
a
थी।
tape of him talking about Trump for ages. Like I think some 50 hours of tape where Epstein is talking about Trump and his administration and what they did together and all the things. They were great friends.
ओके।
Yeah, I mean, I've heard parts of
अगर
those tapes.
ओके, फ्रेंड्स पॉइंट ये था ना कि इफ दे वर फ्रेंड्स तो ट्रम्प को फिर अटैक क्यों कर रहे थे ऐसे इतने
नहीं, but like
bad way
if you're applying the same logic of PDD to like Kamala Harris, whatever, you should apply the same logic to Epstein and Trump also, no? So then they were.
बट उसके साथ उसमें और भी तो चीजें ऐड होती हैं।
क्या ऐड होती
लाइक
है?
एग्जीक्यूटिव ऑर्डर 13818, एग्जीक्यूटिव ऑर्डर 13808,
ये क्या है?
कि अगर किसी भी उसमें 13818 एग्जीक्यूटिव ऑर्डर वो है कि किसी भी एंगल से आप अगर उसमें इन्वॉल्व हैं, ह्यूमन ट्रैफिकिंग,
हाँ.
क्राइम्स अगेंस्ट चिल्ड्रन एंड करप्शन एंड ट्रीजन,
Okay.
एक दो और हैं बट फॉर द चिल्ड्रन, बेसिकली टू सेव द चिल्ड्रन,
Okay.
तो आपके सारे एसेट सीज हो जाएंगे। सारे एसेट सीज कर सकती है गवर्नमेंट। और इस समय अगर रिसर्च प्रॉपरली करें तो मेजॉरिटी ऑफ सेलिब्रिटीज के होम फॉर सेल पे हैं। सो बहुत मल्टी
तो
लेयर्ड एक
बेसिकली
अनियन की तरह है।
सब सेलिब्रिटीज का प्रॉपर्टी सीज करना चाहिए is
नहीं
what you are arguing.
चाहिए नहीं, दैट्स नॉट, मैं वो बहुत मल्टी लेयर्ड है ना।
नहीं, but like what is the
पर्सपेक्टिव
point
बहुत
you are
कॉम्प्लेक्स
making?
भी है, बट मैं जो ये कह रहा हूँ ये चाहिए नहीं, ये एक्चुअली हो रहा है।
अच्छा, pause.
मैं बोल रहा हूँ कि
Pause.
उनके ऑलरेडी लिस्टेड हैं।
Truth seeker, sorry. Truth seeker. Pause. थोड़ा सा pause. Just tell me what is your overall point that you want to make, right? Then we can go into details. But like you're going to do too many details. मुझे बताओ तुम्हारा overall point क्या है?
ओके, ओवरऑल पॉइंट ये है कि ट्रम्प एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन एंड द व्हाइट हैट्स, दे आर वर्किंग फॉर, लाइक एलॉन मस्क ने कहा था, टीम ह्यूमैनिटी वर्सेस द ग्लोबलिस्ट एंड ऑल दैट,
Versus the globalists.
and the dark side, of course. So
Dark side of what?
the dark side,
What is the dark
white hats
side?
versus black hats.
What is the white hat and what is the dark hat?
White hats नहीं पता, I mean,
नहीं, what are white hats?
okay, white hats like they work for people,
So like
high level people,
like
low
you,
level people,
like me?
just नहीं, yes, of course, white hats.
अच्छा,
But
so
with
like chat?
working with legal.
Oh wait, like people like
हम थोड़ा-
my guys wait, sorry. So is the person who does dhobi in my colony a white hat person?
नहीं, वो वाला पॉइंट नहीं है।
फिर
पॉइंट वर्किंग फॉर पीपल, फॉर द पीपल एंड अगेंस्ट द पीपल।
तो फॉर द पीपल तो वो भी तो मेरे मतलब सबके इस्त्री करता है, गाड़ी धोता है, तो ही इज वर्किंग फॉर द पीपल ना। व्हाइट हैट।
यस, ऑफ कोर्स, यस, रेजिस्टेंस, बिल्कुल। सर्विस टू अदर्स, वो सर्विस टू अदर्स में आ गया ना।
हाँ, पर व्हाइट हैट है ना,
जिन्हें एक्टिवली पता है चीजें क्या हो रही है डार्क साइड में। एक
हाँ, डार्क साइड क्या है, डार्क हैट क्या है?
ओके, डार्क साइड वो है जो एंटी ह्यूमन वो है सारे की, जो जितने भी आप सारे एंगल्स उठा लो, फूड में पॉइजनिंग है।
So basically Netanyahu who is bombing people in the Gaza is dark hat.
Yes, of course. तो जो यूक्रेन और इजराइल हैं, ये चाइल्ड ट्रैफिकिंग और ह्यूमन ट्रैफिकिंग के हब्स हैं।
तो like anybody who is involved in bombing, anybody who is involved in using American bombs to bomb other places are dark hat.
If they are killing people, they are dark hat with a darker agenda. That is the one. Dark hat means darker agenda.
So Maninder Singh Pandher is dark hat.
वो कौन है?
सीरियल किलर है इंडिया में।
ये डार्क, अब नहीं, हम थोड़ा सा ऑयल एंड वाटर मिक्स कर रहे हैं।
अरे but like you are saying
Dark hat
people
for
who
darker
work
intentions.
for the people
But वो
are
तो
white hat.
negative. यार ये टर्म्स है, ये तो खुद सर्च कर सकते हैं, ये बच्चे वाली टर्म्स है ब्रो. कम ऑन, लेट्स मूव ऑन.
तो like I mean you are the one who brought it. मेरे को genuinely पता नहीं है कहाँ से आ रहा है. बच्चों वाली टर्म है, मतलब
But
तुम बच्चे
seriously,
हो तो
मुझे
मैं बच्चा
ये
नहीं हूँ
funny
ना.
लग
I
रहा
am
है. नहीं
35. I am
नहीं
old
मैं
man.
नाइट नहीं बोल रहा ब्रो. What the heck, 45?
I'm
Seriously?
35. Yeah, I'm 35.
अच्छा 35 तो यंग है सर, क्या बराबर ही है लगभग.
तो मतलब like but it doesn't mean that I should use the same terminology you are using. No, I don't know what you're talking about, so I'm clarifying terms.
ओह बट मुझे एक्चुअली मुझे लगा है लाइक आप ट्रोल कर रहे थे मुझे. सो बेसिकली यही है कि वाइट हैट्स हम उन्हें बोलते हैं ना कि जो सीक्रेटली वर्किंग फॉर ह्यूमैनिटी. अभी
Secretly
जो
working for
इलॉन ने
humanity.
यार
Wait, sorry, like you, sorry, नहीं फिर से define करो sir. White hat. I'm trying
जैसे
to
एग्जांपल लेते
understand
हैं
what
कि
you're saying.
यस मैं भी कोशिश कर रहा हूँ समझाने की. वाइट
हाँ.
हैट्स कैसे, अगर हम देखें कि कैसे कुछ नाम बोलते हैं. एग्जांपल देता हूँ मैं उसके बाद कि लाइक कैसे
अच्छा
बताऊँ.
नाम दो.
एडवर्ड स्नोडेन, उसने
White hat.
ही वर्कड फॉर द पीपल, ही इज अ वाइट हैट.
Okay.
सिंपल है, मतलब सबसे बेस्ट. जॉन मैकेफे वर्कड फॉर द पीपल, ही इज अ वाइट हैट.
The antivirus guy?
ठीक है. हाँ हाँ जॉन मैकेफे.
Okay, sure. Okay, ठीक है. हाँ.
सी ऐसे वाले वो आते हैं
तो मेरा
अंदर से,
धोबी.
क्या बोलते हैं ब्रो, वो तो अपनी नॉर्मल लाइफ जी रहे हैं ना. उसको वो वाली हायर पर्सपेक्टिव्स नहीं पता है ना कि वर्ल्ड में क्या चल रहा है, किस लेवल पे हायरार्की बनती है, कहाँ पे पावर ऑफ सीट होती है.
No friend. This sounds a little ridiculous to me honestly, because I mean ठीक है, like I mean I like Snowden. I like Edward Snowden and what he has done and etc. I like his book, right? But ये white hat dark hat मुझे समझ में नहीं आ रहा है.
डार्क हेड के डार्कर इंटेंशंस होते हैं, वाइट हेड के वाइटर इंटेंशंस होते हैं. एंड अगेन मैं एकदम से सारा चीजें एक्सप्लेन नहीं कर पाऊंगा. जब आप रिसर्च करिए वो वाली नॉलेज है, एक बस वर्ड ही तो है, मतलब खुद रिसर्च समझ जाएंगे क्या होता है.
अच्छा बट ओके, फिर पॉइंट क्या है आगे का ऑलरेडी. ओके ठीक है, देयर इज अ डार्क हैट, देयर इज अ
पॉइंट ये
व्हाइट
कि
हैट.
जो ट्रम्प एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन है वो वाइट हैट्स के साथ वर्क कर रहा है. एंड ही इज अ वाइट हैट.
वो तो ट्रम्प इज आल्सो व्हाइट हैट.
वाइट हैट, गुड गाइस.
अच्छा, एंड कमला हैरिस इज डार्क हैट.
यस ऑफ कोर्स. उसने
ऑफ कोर्स
पॉलिटिक्स में आने के लिए उससे पहले वाला सीन तो आपने देखा ही होगा.
नहीं, मैंने कुछ नहीं देखा. आई मीन क्लियरली यू हैव वे मोर इंटरेस्टिंग नॉलेज देन आई हैव.
ब्रो बट ये वाली लाइफ फन नहीं होती ना. फन तो तुम्हारी लाइफ होती है यार. रिसर्च लाइफ बहुत बैड हो जाती है. सब हंसते हैं और पागल बोलते हैं.
नहीं बट लाइक आई मीन योर रिसर्च इज, I mean, where did you? I'm guessing you are going to like all these Reddit forums and getting information. Like मुझे वो vibe आ रहा है friend अभी.
नहीं, उससे भी भयंकर वाला लाइक 8kun 4chan.
अच्छा, उसमें घुस गए आप?
नहीं सर, मैं नहीं घुसा. मैं तो नाम जानता हूँ जस्ट.
तो फिर
मतलब मैं शेयर कर रहा था एक अपना ऑनेस्ट पर्सपेक्टिव. मैं ऐसा किसी को नहीं बोल रहा हूँ कि मेरी बात का
नहीं honestly I
बिल्कुल भी नहीं.
I understand.
Research.
तुम मतलब I know that you're only sharing what you have researched and what you believe honestly, and I appreciate you for coming up and telling me about this. ठीक है, I understand.
हाँ तो मैं थोड़ा सा नर्वस था लाइक सब यार किसी को भी बताओ सब हंसते हैं पागल होते हैं, बट ये रियलिटी है.
नहीं रे,
That is going on.
नहीं रे, ट्रूथ सीकर ऐसे मत बोल यार तू.
वेट दिखेगा तेरे को. वेट तो कैसे, जस्ट वेट.
लिसन, ये तुम्हारी रियलिटी है.
हाँ ऑफ कोर्स.
तो ये मेरी नहीं है ना, ये किसी और की नहीं है, तुम्हारी रियलिटी है ये.
बट मैं इसीलिए तो शेयर करने की कोशिश कर रहा हूँ. ये बहुत जल्द सबकी होने वाली है.
नहीं होने वाली
रोल
है.
आउट होंगी.
नहीं होने वाली है.
हाँ ओके, कोई बात नहीं. जस्ट मैं अपना आगे अपना ही पर्सपेक्टिव बता रहा हूँ. दैट्स नॉट रियलिटी.
It's okay. अच्छा. Now chat is getting annoyed, so I'm going to say bye bye to you.
Oh sorry.
Okay?
Let me. Yes sir. Thank you.
No, but Truth Seeker, thank you. Valiant effort. And also, like, honestly, I know you were nervous, and but friend, please get out of these rabbit holes. Just सोचो थोड़ा सा critically, practically, लोगों के बारे में सोचो. हमारे
टाइम आप लोगों का भी आने वाला है, सब लोगों का रैबिट होल में जाने का. तो
नहीं
आप
रे,
लोग
क्यों जाना
डॉक्यूमेंटरीज
है?
बनाओगे इन्हीं समय पे आने में.
अच्छे रैबिट होल्स में जाओ ना.
जस्ट एक लास्ट लाइन प्लीज. जस्ट एक लास्ट लाइन. रिसर्च एड्रीनोक्रोम एंड फाइंड आउट what is WWG1WG.
ये मुझे शब्द पता है. ये मुझे पता है शब्द. Like I know this word and I now know where you're coming from. Okay.
Oh yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you sir.
Okay, bye.
God bless. Bye bye.
Yeah, no, that no, don't go into that. No. Yeah, he's going to QAnon territory now. So like that I knew. Adrenochrome I have heard. It is QAnon territory. I had a suspicion. But honestly, ये black hat, white hat मैंने पहली बार ही सुना है. ये मुझे नहीं पता था. I was not trolling him initially, but then when I heard his definitions, I could tell where this is going. So I was trying to clarify. But anyway. Abhishek, hello. Oh wait, Triton bhi hai. Abhishek, hello. I'm going to take Triton also. If Triton is audible, I'm talking to Triton first, then you.
Am I audible now?
Yes. Hello, Triton. How are you doing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fine. Yeah, I'm good. How are you?
I'm good.
Okay, so first, yesterday I messaged you about that MIT thing, and you said, okay, I'm trolling, but I was actually not.
MIT thing.
If you
Sorry.
remember.
Remind me what?
Like MIT did. I don't want to be associated with any conspiracy theories, but there's like this MIT study that says, okay, looking at what events when do civilizations collapse, and
So,
like they are predicting by 2040 we are going to have a similar, like we are trending towards how civilizations have collapsed, but on a global order.
okay.
Yeah.
By
So like this
2040.
yes.
Okay.
And if you look at how things are going, society is not exactly. I will like argue from both sides here, but society is not looking very upbeat right now.
Yeah, sure. I mean, I want to be an optimist till I can't be.
हाँ, उधर का भी मैं बात करूंगा. Second thing is you are currently in Maharashtra, right?
Yes. Matlab, I'm
So
not
can you tell
currently
me?
in Maharashtra. I'm in Delhi,
Okay.
but my state is
Okay.
Maharashtra.
Okay. So can you like still have a grasp of which way the wind is blowing right now?
I
Because some
can't.
people are saying that.
I can't.
Okay.
I can't honestly because who I'm talking to is very confused.
Okay. Because I've like heard of some internal surveys and they're not looking good for the India side.
Kya internal surveys? What are they saying?
Matlab, I have, because these are all hush hush and I'm like not from any party or have this kind of knowledge, but some folks are saying that things are not looking up for the India side.
Okay, but what does that mean? Like, what does not looking up
The
mean exactly?
people were saying that after Lok Sabha, this like UBT and Shiv Sena will have a like rebound because Lok Sabha was showing that they are the real parties.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Oh yeah, so
like
there is
there
like I
is
mean
some.
obviously that whole Ladki Bahin scheme that they did that has definitely had an impact. Like nobody was expecting it, but like I think a lot of women are turning towards the Mahayuti now. Like I mean obviously
Yeah.
like this scheme that has been launched and now they're given two months in advance and all the things. Now I believe the MVA has also like announced that they are going to give like 3,000 rupees a month to women or something in their
Yeah.
manifesto. So that is there also. Sabhi denge paisa.
Probably not an appropriate comment to make on this last statement, but this is a race to the bottom.
Race to the bottom?
Yeah.
Why?
Like you're just promising things. You're just promising how to empty the state funds, and you're not building anything.
I mean, you stop giving money to like corporations and redirect all money to universal basic income. I say, and also like remove all the schemes also, like all these welfare schemes.
So okay, this will go in. Like, do you want to get into this, or do you want to talk more about like elections and?
No, whatever you
democracy and
want,
stuff like
whatever
that?
you want. Like I mean, you brought it up. I was just
Yeah.
making a point. Yeah.
Okay, I'll circle around back to that. So, last question, like before I get into like discussion, can you tell me what finally made you like when you were starting out as a content creator after being in journalism?
Yeah.
Can you tell me like what made you take the fine with plunge? Because it's like not a very not something you do just on a morning. You have to have a certain bit of courage and like requires a lot of energy.
So like there were phases. So you mean ye YouTube channel specifically that phase or before that?
But after you were like, I'm not going to be in journalism anymore. How
Oh,
was it
that
for
way.
you?
Yeah. News laundry jab choda maine.
Yeah.
So one of the reasons, I mean, it's a very simple reason. I wanted more money, so I was looking for a job elsewhere. And because I was going through some personal shit and I needed money. And the second is I was very burnt out. I was like extremely burnt out by that time. because I had worked for 6 years, I think 5-6 years in that space. I had covered a bunch of elections and all the things, so I wanted a break. So I quit, and then I went and joined like IVM, which is an entertainment company in Bombay. Or then they paid me more, so I did that for a year and a half or something. Then I had some capital and I was bored of that. So then I was like, oh, chalo khud ka channel shuru karke dekhte hai. So I invested in all this equipment and all the things. And now here I am. So it's basically, it's like I don't plan long term. I plan like very short term. So I just take things as they come along. So that's how it happened, honestly. Being perfectly honest.
All right, makes sense.
Yeah.
So thanks for answering that. Now,
Yeah.
like circling back to discussions you were having with earlier people.
Yeah.
I don't think like we should be so pessimistic. If you look at the Indian, I will not say it's not technically in Indian context the middle class, but people who are earning like above 35,000 rupees a month.
25,000, I think.
Okay, the figure is not really the point of contention here. So like it has started growing very recently, like this 35,000 plus. And if you compare it to other Asian economies which are modernizing and like developing right now, so you can maybe take South Korea for example, or Malaysia or China. I think you have to like give a certain bit of credit to Indian society that we have a lot of baggage with us, cultural and otherwise. But if you see the younger generation, even with all this propaganda, there are people who are like, I would say a higher ratio of people are more socially aware than our peers around the continent.
Okay.
Wouldn't you say that? Like, do you agree
No,
or
India
disagree?
mein what happens, and I believe this very highly, is that the reason why people who are poor are more aware politically and know who to vote for is because their interaction with the government is on a more regular basis than the people who are more privileged, right? So for example, I don't have to deal with the government on a daily basis or ever, probably. Sometimes I do. The way I deal with the government is that, oh, wo dekho, wo road pe khadda hai, oh, ye power ka problem hai. But those are like abstract dealings with the government. What the people who are basically on lower stratas of society will be like, for example, this Ladki Bahin scheme, people had to line up outside a bank to register, right? Then there was Manrega, Ration. All of these are direct interactions with the government. People who are employed by the government also get money from the government. So their experience is more interacting with the system. So they are more aware as a result.
I'm not talking like from a government perspective, but more that there was this one school kid who was saying that he is seeing a lot of classism and this religious division even among kids, and like his teachers were supposed to guide the people.
Yes.
So like, yeah, I have had a teacher like a history teacher of all people. He was in, I think 2014 or 15, he was preaching like Godse is a great human being and Gandhi led us astray.
Upper caste person?
Yeah, he was, but it's not, I don't think he that was his. If you see, to go on a tangent here, when you see like in the upper caste people, their language and casteism is very different, right? They will probably not discriminate you when it comes to hiring, but they will use terms and slurs that can be hurtful to a lot of people.
No, absolutely. But the reason why I feel like the person who came earlier and was aware of caste is also because they belong to a underprivileged caste. No, they are the ones. They are the ones who are experiencing it on a daily basis. Whereas privileged people like me, upper caste people, we don't have to experience it. So we can be blissfully unaware and then have like random anecdotal examples of whatever. Like it's all assumptions at that point of time, right? So that's why because the kid, like the teacher didn't know, but the kid was very aware of their identity and they are made aware on a daily basis. That's the whole point.
So that's what I was saying. Like, if you look at the history of independent India, like surely this is, I would say that over the years, of course, these differences have remained in communities, but previous governments were sort of underplaying it, and this current administration is sort of overplaying it. So I don't know. Do you think we should be very concerned about this? Or
Concerned
is it just
about
like a
the rising casteism and bigotry and all the things?
I would firstly like argue a little that it is like, especially custom, is it rising or not?
Is it rising? You think so?
I don't think so. Like, I can certainly say that maybe religious divisions are getting more air, but our castes, like,
if I may ask, because we are talking about caste,
I am,
you're upper caste?
yes.
So then our views don't matter, friend. Because we don't face discrimination, no? Like neither do you, neither do I, and we will start talking here and fuck around and basically assume things on the on part of someone else who is actually getting discriminated. That is really unfair on them, no? So you can't say whether
Okay.
it's rising or not rising. That kid who
That is
came
very
can
true.
say that it is rising or not rising because they are experiencing it. We aren't. We can just intellectualize here and we can talk about it. We are allies. That's what we should aim to be, right? We shouldn't like sort of make these assumptions on behalf of other people.
That is a very fair point to make. Yeah.
Yeah.
So other thing I want to talk about, like, since we are discussing like American democracy and of course relating it to what is happening here, I think like we people who broadly associate with liberalism, I think we do need to introspect a little bit here, because if like liberalism is usually talking of abstract concepts which will probably not make sense to the 90% of like 50% of India is not making like more than $2 a day. And when you can certainly see, like, Trump says a lot of weird stuff and other strongmen say a lot of weird stuff, but they also like always relate it back to like you are going to get jobs when I am in power. People who are like taking your jobs,
Yeah,
they
yeah,
will be thrown out.
yeah.
So that is of course emotionally charged language, but when the liberal stock of things, these are more abstract concepts. And even when like powerhouses like Germany and Japan are going through recession, I don't know if this is the right way to do things. And I wouldn't say it's even a new phenomenon. Like if you listen to first, like when Gandhi became Congress president, and he in his first Adivation speech, he said that until now Congress has been the party of the urban upper class English speaking elite. And I think the word like India is especially that English speaking elite, but liberalism worldwide is sort of an elitist movement, wouldn't you say?
I mean, it is like, I mean, so that's the thing. Like, I mean, if you look at all the people who basically are presently, like what Rahul Gandhi talks about, for example, right? The caste census thing, right? He keeps saying, no, okay, like, oh, look at the number of bureaucrats that are running the government and tell me how many people from the DBA community are there, right? So
Yeah.
his whole point is the same, which is like the amount of people who are number wise in the country who are from the DBA community is insanely large, but the
Can
amount of
you,
people who are in powerful
what's
positions is
the
insanely
acronym?
small. So what is the reason for that? And it is a very direct relationship with the caste system, right? That is the whole point is making, that there needs to be some effort to equalize it somehow, right? And if you want to do it, you need data. We don't have data, so get data.
Okay, so one second. I have a few questions. So first, like, you said DBA, if I have heard correctly. What does it stand for?
Dalit Bahujan Adivasi.
Okay. Second thing, you're saying like we don't have data.
Yeah.
But isn't it funny, like UP did a census with a lot of castes in it, and then they didn't use the data.
Oh,
And
that's
how many
true.
people?
I always wonder about that, but my guess is that, the socio-economic census that will be done, or it should be done, the caste census, when he says it, I think it is actually a socio-economic census, but with caste as a factor in there, right? My worry with the caste census also is how it will be done, right? So I like it as a concept, right? I like the fact that they're actually putting out the intention of doing it in the first place. How it will be done just worries me, because honestly, one caste in one state might be like, let's say, a lower caste, but in another state it might be upper caste. Same surnames. So how do you categorize in that case? So it will be a very complex problem there, and very complex exercise also.
Can I say like this is? I don't think this is at this moment the right question to ask. I agree that we should have more data, and it should be like. I agree with the wider point that it should be like area specific, location specific. But we had the Mandal Commission, and if just having data was the panacea, we should be having a lot more equality. And basically,
We should be
how
having a
the
lot more equality. How? Because we don't have the data.
we had Mandal Commission, and it said like these are the people who are backwards.
No,
Did
no,
you see
that was
anything bet
separate.
on
Like I'm
that?
talking the census again, socio-economic census. Understand that. Like so, basically, like identify how many people are poor, how many people have how many houses and vehicles and everything. So that's the socio-economic census, education levels, etc. And then have like caste as a factor there to find out if reservations have actually worked, where they effective, where the policy is effective, did it actually uplift a particular caste to like go to like powerful positions, or like make their lives better. That sort of data we don't have.
Okay, but I would again, like, you take Bihar's example, it had the caste survey, and the person who did it saw no political benefit from it and then jumped
So
ship
that was not
like
a
immediately
that was
afterwards.
not a socio-economic survey, was it? It was just like a proper numbering of the caste, which was what was released, right? There was a attached socio-economic element to it which was never released. Once that comes out is when the actual picture comes out, right? Just number बताने से कुछ नहीं होने वाला.
Let's say the actual number comes out. Do you think anything will happen?
Yes.
Like it did with electoral bonds?
What? Electoral bonds?
Matlab, I'm just saying that because something comes out in the open,
No.
I don't think Indian
It
society has
starts
the bandwidth.
a conversation. No, again, don't compare electoral bonds data with this, because honestly, like for the way to find out if a policy actually worked is to find out if people benefited from it. How do you find out if people benefited from it? Do a socio-economic census to see if people have benefited from it. And if they haven't, then you know that there is a problem in the policy, so you make changes according to that. And that takes time, and that happens over time. But the first thing to do is to find out. We haven't even
Okay, so
found out yet.
okay, so this might be my ignorance speaking, but has there been any like example of this previously working out, not in the exact same specifics, but has there been like a countrywide program in which we have done something for decades and then we have seen if any progress has been there or not?
I believe
Are
like
you
in
aware of any such
America,
program?
the affirmative action program is followed up by an intense data gathering exercise to see if it has actually reached the people. I believe I read something about this earlier. In America, it happens. Yahan pe, I haven't seen anything like this yet. Manrega. Yeah, Manrega is a good example actually. Shailendra is giving. Manrega is a good example where there is like live tracking of how many people are getting how much they gave, and it is actually a great sign for rural distress as a result. If more people are applying for Manrega, if the policy is working well, it is actually a bad thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I understand.
So like if you have like data, then you are able to make like changes in the policy better. You can make sure that people have gotten there, and then you add RTI to it, etc. Acha, Shweta is coming to tell us time is up, I think.
Yes, long back.
Yeah, okay. No, this was very interesting, Triton. Thank you so much.
And yeah, you did change my mind on this last topic because I was sort of in two minds if it is actually going to be a good thing or just another thing that people are making an issue of for political gain.
Nah. And if it has to be political, right? I mean, if you want to make a change, you have to make it political. Otherwise,
Is
how
it
will you make
okay
a change?
if I get just 1 more minute?
No, I have to move on, Triton, but I will give you time next time when you come in. Okay?
Fair. Have a nice evening.
Yeah.
See
Thank
ya.
you so much, man. Bye.
See ya. Bye.
Let's take Das. Hello,
Hi,
Das.
hi.
Hi, how are you doing?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Hello.
I'm good, good. Good night. Like before I get into my thing, I just want to add one thing into the previous conversation you were having with Triton.
Right.
Like he was talking about, okay, is casteism getting worse or whatever? Like keeping aside the, what's the word, the cultural aspect of things and anecdotal evidence. Economically, recently, I think I read around 2 weeks back, there was a paper from Raghuram Rajan and a few other economists. And they were comparing why China, even though we liberalized to an extent in a similar time, we have similar-ish, societies and culture, and we were all socialists. But why did they explode and we didn't?
Okay.
And what they found out was a systemic problem, because in China, the incentives, especially with the local government, is extremely aligned with economic growth, because all their revenue is through land sales and land leases, right? So they have to develop the land through industries or whatever to do all that shit. In India, what 19% of the budget goes to our local government or something like that. We are a very centralized country.
Yes.
And even being a centralized country, why the local governments are ineffective and why everybody hates, like, I live in BBMP, sorry, in Bangalore, so I hate the BBMP, right? So everybody hates their local governments because they're understaffed, even though they have money to hire people, and they don't hire people because of casteism. Because there are high caste people there who do not want to hire people from low caste,
Okay.
like lower castes,
Okay.
right? And this is very well studied. And like, I understand the whole cultural thing regarding casteism. Like, I am from SC background.
Right.
My dad was SC.
Right.
And I have faced a bunch of discrimination, especially in North India. Like, I am technically South Indian, but I was born in North India. Then I
Right.
moved back to South India. And it is much more prominent in North India.
Yes.
But even keeping that aside, saying that casteism is not increasing, keeping the social part of it aside, economically, it is systemic. And it's literally ruining the entire country. Anyway.
Fair point.
So
Fair
that
point.
was the only thing.
Yeah.
That's the only thing which I want to add regarding that. I wanted your opinion on something.
Okay.
So recently, after this entire US election shit, right? I was talking to a few of my friends who I met after many months. Like, they study abroad. And I was saying, you know what? Okay, he lost, blah, blah, blah. Sorry, she lost, blah, blah, blah. And immediately they just jumped on it and said, oh, the entire country is racist and sexist. And I'm just like, Bhaijan, matlab, kaise? Like, how can you, okay, yes, US is a racist country, right? But most of these voters back in 2016 were, like, especially the young male voter, were called Bernie bros because they supported Bernie Sanders. And his campaign was slandered for it.
Yeah.
Right? Before that, they voted for Obama. Right? So, completely paint an entire group like that. I feel the left does it quite a bit. Like, we do it quite a lot. And we were
labeling,
in a pub,
you mean?
we were drinking. Yeah, basically. And like, it's not really good in terms of, in my opinion, and I wanted to know if this makes sense or if I'm talking out of my ass. Okay.
To a
Is there any
certain extent,
realities
I
like that
agree
to
with you.
me?
Yes. I agree. Like, I mean, see, here's the thing. Like, on the internet, there is no comms about this. Like, for example, where I also casually throw around the words bhakts and whatever all the time, right? I'm also labeling, right? Technically, like, I mean, I'm saying that,
trolling,
why do you label me as a Librandu and an urban Naxal, but I'm also calling them bhakts. So, kind of hypocritical that way.
No, but see, like, there's a difference between trolling, and I think trolling is great. You know, like, I play games, we troll each other every fucking time, right? So that's fine. But to genuinely just believe people who are, you know, like, what, around 40-50% of their country does not have enough money for any kind of emergency, less than $400. Now, $400 for us is a lot. For them, is not that much. And then I mentioned something like this.
Sorry, but can I interrupt you because you said something earlier which I wanted to sort of also like say. Okay, racism chhod do. I think racism, I'm not a person who can comment on it really because I've never been there. So I have never experienced it. But like from what I hear, I think it is bad. But at the same time, the sexism part, right? Dude, 235 years of this country's existence and not a single woman president? I'm sorry, that just doesn't make sense to me.
Before.
I mean, that is like a clear sign of sexism if there was ever one. I mean, you chose a freaking criminal as a president before you chose your first woman president? That doesn't make sense to me. I mean, like, I'm sorry, I'm going to label your entire country as sexist now. That is just it. I've decided.
No, see, yeah, 100% makes sense.
Yeah.
Right. But if you just look at the votes themselves, right? 2020, Biden got what, 80 million odd votes. And Trump got pretty much plus 3 million votes, plus minus 3 million votes. He got the same vote. And this time, a shit ton of people didn't vote. In Bronx, specifically, the county which AOC is from, there was a 26%, 27% vote for Trump in the Bronx in New York.
Yeah, I know, like, he made a lot of gains in, like, traditional democratic places also. Like, that's what I am reading also, yes.
And like, what I have felt, and let me know if it makes sense, is that from 2008, the entire neoliberal agenda, and I don't think that foreign policy is the most important for a country, or cultural stuffs are more important for a country. I think economics is the most important. And from 2008 onward, especially in that country, neoliberalism has failed. Free trade agreements, globalism in terms of trade, right?
Sure.
It is extremely harmful towards any country's workers, especially if they are like high cost, right? And that has swallowed out the middle class essentially there. And here also, like बोलते हैं यहाँ पे भी middle class है मगर घंटा कुछ है नहीं.
नहीं मिडिल
But
क्लास है ही नहीं यहाँ पे इंडिया में तो डेफिनेटली नहीं है अभी
yeah,
बचा ही नहीं है
बिल्कुल नहीं. And yeah, and there after 2008, all this anger with Wall Street, Occupy Wall Street, and a lot of political and economic strife. From that, I think the two populist movements which emerged in 2016 were Bernie Sanders and what's his name, Donald Trump.
also
Whether we like it or
Bitcoin
not, he was. Yes, Bitcoin.
Bitcoin is a
was
movement
2009
right
or
it
something.
started as a movement because of that because
Yeah,
of
I
the
think 2009.
2008 yeah
And but the Democratic Party completely killed Bernie's movement, stole it from him, salted the earth to make sure nothing grows out of it.
Yeah.
And I feel like the other person, I don't know who it was, who mentioned this. I think it was Jay or somebody. Yeah, I think it was Jay. He mentioned that it's a uniparty with just two factions, right?
yeah
But I don't think that in terms of foreign policy or fascism or whatever. I think it is absolutely a bloody war against workers. Okay.
Fair enough. So basically, you're
Because
saying like techno-feudalists are essentially like trying to take away worker rights and keep the wages low, not letting them unionize, all the. Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
And in my opinion, in the left, right, a lot of times we focus a lot on cultural issues. Now, I'm not talking about systemic racism or systemic casteism,
Okay.
because that has a direct economic effect, right?
Yes.
Because see, like I have a business partner who is an Agarwal. Okay. Because of that, I have a shit ton of like I have a lot of advantages
But
because
sorry,
I'm
I'm going to sorry before you continue, I'm going to interrupt you because you said us on the left. Do you consider yourself as someone who is on the left, and what does that mean?
I'm on the left in terms of I hold the same beliefs in terms of what you have to be anti-racist, you need to be against casteism, and you
Okay.
have to protect people's liberty and freedom and fraternity at whatever cost. Fuck the state. Who gives a shit?
Okay.
And I'm extremely economically left.
So
To an extent,
you're
it might
basically
even-
you like a big government.
I like. No, yes. Especially, see, there are a few places where big government should be there. They should not be there in making shoes. They should be there in healthcare. They should be there in education. They should be there in housing. These are the
Okay.
three main things, because that's what gives people an equality, not an equality of outcome, but equality of opportunity. It's
Right.
the same foundation for everybody. So then nobody's fucking on the streets homeless and
Okay.
doesn't have shit to eat, right? So
Okay.
that's kind of where I stand. And even with capitalism, I'm kind of on the fence about it. I don't know how I feel about it. I
All right.
participate in it, so
Fair enough.
there's a lot of weird things which come with it. Anyway, so I feel that as the left, we focus too much on people's interaction with others. I think.
Okay.
What are you saying?
People's interactions with others, matlab with each other as a society.
With each other. No,
But that
at
is
an
important,
individual
right?
basis.
I mean,
It is only important till it infringes on the other person's rights and freedoms.
give
If
me
it
an
doesn't,
example. Give me
fine.
an example. I mean, this is very abstract.
Okay, like for example, like when I was young, like I was born in like near Delhi, near NCR region.
Sure.
Right? Now I am a dark dude.
Okay.
I'm from Tamil Nadu, right?
Right.
So this is like early 90s, right? So of course there's a shit on like Kalu, matlab, all that nonsense goes on, right? Did it feel shit? Yes, it did. Did I get bullied a lot? Yes, it did, right? But I feel like telling people not to do that when they absolutely believe in it, I think is a moot point, because people are not going to change that way, right? Now, if that person harms me physically, right, then that's an issue, because he's infringing on my rights to actually exist and do whatever I want to do. So that's kind of what I mean, because like, especially in a country like India, we're so diverse
But एक second, like so,
that
right, sorry,
yeah,
bullying, right? Bullying as an example. What the way I see it, for
yeah.
example, so
Hmm.
you were bullied because of your skin color, right? In Delhi, right? Because I know, like I mean, like
Yeah.
skin color, body shaming, all those things are there. Like if you wear
And
glasses
because I was
early,
SC, but yeah.
yeah, there's so many ways to
Huh.
bully kids, right? Now the way to
Mhm.
talk about this is that, let's say I'm a person who wants to see this stop. How do I do
Mhm.
that? If I'm a child, I can either stand up to my bully and get beaten up more, right? But what I can do is I
Yeah, that's
need
not
to
good.
be able to go to my freaking teacher and complain about it, and the teacher should do something about it.
Yes,
That is a systemic problem,
exactly.
and that systemic problem can only
Yes.
be fixed by pointing out कि नहीं यहाँ पे bullying हो रहा है. There needs to be a solution
No,
here.
no, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, 100%, 100%.
Yeah.
That's where I align.
Yeah.
Basically, what I'm trying to say is, systemically, there absolutely should not be any kind of casteism, racism, sexism of any sort, right?
Yeah.
But individually, people are racist, are casteist, are pieces of shit. I
But you
think
should
people
expect the
have the
system to
freedom to
also like figure out how to sort of control that, no? Like, because I mean it does cause suffering. Like I mean, if तुम्हें bully किया, right, that was causing you
Mhm.
suffering, mental or physical, however it is, and that should not happen.
I think there are, see here, I have a slight different take on this. I think systemically, of course, we should be protecting people on a system-wide basis where it does not lead into physical harm or harassment or calls to violence of
But
any sort.
how?
So not just violence, but also calls to violence. So
How?
like, for example, in the bullying case, right? Like you go to a teacher and you tell the teacher is legally required to be like, भाई कुछ करने का नहीं तो तुम्हारी job कटेगी. Simple सी बात.
Hmm.
You getting what I'm saying?
Hmm.
But uh, I don't think it is useful to lecture people who are clearly sexist, because like 30% of any population is
Okay,
gone.
fair. I agree with you on one point, that I mean I hear
Yeah.
where you're coming from, right? I just don't want to generalize it. Do you know what I mean? So, for example, if you ask
What do you
me,
mean?
do you give advice to someone and tell them that you are wrong? Like if someone is being racist, if someone is being sexist in front of me. I used to do that as a younger person, but as a 35-year-old now, I don't have the patience. I'm like, कि दूर रहो इससे. I don't want to.
Yeah.
I mean, the person can
Yeah.
believe whatever they want, as long as you're not causing active suffering. I'm not going to tell you what is right or wrong, right? Like for example,
Yeah.
if they tomorrow start beating their partner or like beating their child, then I would definitely say something, right? Because then you're
Mhm.
just an absolutely shit person who is causing suffering. Then that is where I would want to say something, and if I don't say something, then that's on me, right? But otherwise, if they're like
Yes.
being an ass in general in public or on social media or whatever, I don't have to be that. I don't have to take that burden of fixing them or their thoughts or whatever. I don't want to get into it, honestly.
Yeah. Mhm.
Is that what you mean? Is that where you were coming from also?
That's basically what I mean.
Yeah, yeah.
That's basically what I mean. And like my overarching point is,
But
the
my
left seems
okay,
to
sorry,
focus a shit ton.
but here's the thing. My
Yeah, sorry.
only difference
Yeah.
with what you were saying and what I am saying is that I am very aware of how I view this personally, but I would not want to generalize it to other people. Like for example, can I say the same thing to Rahul Gandhi, right? Now, Rahul Gandhi gives a lot of advice currently, right? Like he gets up on the stage, he
Yeah,
tells people
I
how to
follow his
behave,
yeah.
he tells people mohabbat ki dukan, all the things, right? If both of us basically are like looking at it from our perspective, we're like कि इसने नहीं बोलना चाहिए, right? Because तुझे क्या करना है, लोग क्या सोच रहे हैं, how will you change it? But then also you also know that if he doesn't talk about it, nobody else will. So it's like a very tricky thing,
No,
right?
like I do think no, like okay. So there's one thing about personal stuff, and there's a personal sphere and political sphere, right? So personal sphere, I think we agree. We absolutely agree. In the political sphere, I think yes, a politician should talk about it and talk about it specifically regarding systems of how to be, not shame people. Because I have had an extremely Islamophobic mother for the longest time. अभी तक कुछ नहीं change हुआ. Whichever I try. Like my dad was a Christian, she was a Hindu. Even then, she hates bloody Muslims. I'm like, how? मतलब इतना exposure तो मिल गया है, मगर फिर भी why can't you take this small jump? But sometimes just people don't change. And if we vilify people who don't think like us on a personal basis, it's not going to work out very well. It's going to become very toxic. But in a political sphere, I think it is honestly better to talk about equality for all, fraternity for all, and more importantly, make sure the systems are in check so that abuses don't happen from the majority to the minority. And the most important, talk on bread and butter issues. कि भाई मैं तुझे धंधा कैसे दूंगा? How will I give you food on the table, education and houses? Because when we get caught up with this academic language in terms of all of these things and how to police personal lecturing, the right doesn't really lecture a lot. They just prey on fear, right? And then there's one side, if there's an independent voter or a person who hasn't made up their mind, because those are the only people we can get. The right wing fucks are gone, and the left wing are with us. Anyway, the person in the middle is
No,
looking
no,
at
no.
one person who's
Wait. This left is
What?
with us वाला जो था ना, this line that you said.
नहीं है क्या?
नहीं है, and shouldn't expect it also. Like basically that is another problem, right? People like, for example, the Democrats, like one thing that I saw when they were talking and when their commentators were also talking was that black people will to vote for us only, Indians will vote for us only, Latinos
Okay,
will
yeah.
vote for us only. No, that didn't happen. No,
But
left
like,
people are not with
isn't
you.
that also a generalization though?
No, but
because like
boss, like,
expecting
why
all,
do you
like
think?
especially
No. I think
Okay.
the problem is that we try to look. I agree with you when you say that we look at it through like a very ideological lens sometimes, and we go a little overboard with it, right? Because honestly, the person who is voting on the day of voting will come in with their own reasons. They might be aware of how deep they
Yeah.
must have gone in the news ecosystem. They might not have. They might have had like a 1 hour conversation before voting with someone कि किसको वोट देने का है रे, कौन है रे बैलेट पे, अच्छा ये आदमी अच्छा है कि वो आदमी अच्छा है, या फिर गूगल कर लिया, right? That's basically the level of
Oh, like
interest most voters will have in a very realistic way. So we will circle jerk here endlessly. Like all the parties will make their strategies endlessly, but the real people who are basically able to sort of entice people towards them are people like the Mahayuti, who is like, le lo, paisa le lo. Ladli Bahin scheme, right? Which our Mamaji tried in Madhya
Yeah.
Pradesh and worked. Or it could be something like Modi ji giving 5 kilo ration, right? Because that is what people
with
care
his face
about.
on it. Yep.
Yeah. So I know what you mean. I see where you're coming from, right? But I don't think we should generalize. You know what I mean?
Okay. Specifically, I'm still not able to get the generalization thing.
Okay.
But I think Shweta keeps saying that the time is up
Yes, the
in the
time
chat.
is up. But this was very nice, dude.
Yeah,
Thank you so much. That was very interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks for your time.
Thanks, man. Thanks. Bye.
Yeah. Bye.
Okay, Aitas. Hello, Aitas. How are you doing? I think you're going to be my last caller, friend. Aitas, are you there? Where is my friend Aitas? I have invited him. Deepta has been calling for therapy for a while also. Deepta, एक second. अच्छा ठीक है. Let me just take you quickly also while Aitas comes in. Hello.
Hi, Meg. How are you?
Hi, I'm good. I saw you. Hello, how are you doing?
I'm good. I'm okay.
I'm just also going to wait for Aitas because I've invited him. So okay, two of you will be my last callers then. Okay, go on.
Yay. Yeah, I'm actually right now in the US, so it's
Yes,
kind
I
of
know.
like very yeah, it feels very like doom and gloom, so I could totally use some therapy and some venting. So I think like one thing people need to understand is that this is the first time the Republicans have lost, I mean, the Democrats have lost the Senate since 2004. So
Yes.
now the Republicans have not only the Congress, they also have the Senate, and they also have like judges that they've appointed in the Supreme Court.
Yes.
So basically, it's like BJP 2019,
Yes.
where like, yeah, it's like any law they want to pass, anything they want to do, there's no checks and balances. And they have people like Elon Musk, who's probably going to hold some sort of seat in the Congress.
Hmm.
And it's just like a really like bad state to be
Hmm.
an immigrant in the US, even if you're legal.
I know, I know.
Um,
Sorry, just Deepta, sorry. I saw
Oh,
your message,
hi.
man. I know you have
Oh,
to.
I will just be passively here. So let Deepta
oh,
talk
okay.
next. I
No,
think
no,
I
no,
have
please
something
join me.
contrasting to what she says.
Okay.
Because I also live here, but I will let you finish. Let
Yeah,
me
we could
talk
make
about
this
that.
Okay.
like a slight a debate if you'd like, I
Sure,
thought.
sure, sure.
I'm open to like you interrupting me whenever.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I think like like there's a lot of what ifs that are now hanging. What if Trump decides to like go ahead and do whatever he wants, and that can be like quite scary. Uh, at least for like I think for everybody, as a woman, I'm very scared because I think like America is built on racism and sexism, and it really like came out to the world. And honestly, I think if this is what the American people want, this is what they get.
Hmm.
They look like a total like fool to the rest of the world. I'm not sure if they understand that the president of the United States kind of dictates the the happenings of the whole world,
Hmm.
especially when it comes to like climate change. That's another thing that I'm concerned about.
Yes.
He has no policies related to like
Last time he
anything.
was not especially great for climate change. Like he pulled out of the Paris Accord and all the things, and
Yeah,
he's a denialist proper. So that's scary for sure.
yeah, yeah. And I mean, it's too late for even denial.
Hmm.
So I think yeah, and America being the largest polluter in the world, that could be, it's a scary doomsday state to be here.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Aitas, you were going to say something else to what
So,
Deepta was saying. Yeah.
oh, can I? Okay, so I think I'll go back to what you were saying before, Meghnad. So
Yeah.
comparatively, like say similar to free speech, I know, like say this is terrifying. Like say, given any issue with women's rights, or like say, I think more so. I've only lived here in like blue states,
Hmm.
also
Hmm.
blue heavens.
Same.
Uh, my perspective will be different, but it's overall bad, but when I see it comparatively, I still walk past something like say it says Trump is a weenie. Or I've seen people like openly people have started to protest already. Like
Hmm.
say people are protesting against Donald Trump in DC. Like
Hmm.
students calling for protests or students calling for rallies for climate already. So it's like again you have these again within a limited framework. So
Hmm.
I'm not like super worried, I'd say. I'm like not super like again like super worried, I would
But do you
say,
think
but
it'll
still
escalate?
there's not
Because
like losing hope.
no, but
I'm
honestly,
not losing hope.
Aitas,
Yeah.
one thing I wanted to ask, which I hear you here, but honestly, like Trump 2.0 will be very different than the first version, right? Because I think he comes with like extreme anger and revenge in his mind this time. It's very obvious,
Hmm.
right? The second is I feel like people will have to take him more seriously now, because first time when he came in, people were saying, oh, it might be a fluke. Oh, America has fixed itself because it chose Biden again. Now he's back again with a larger mandate. And what Deepta was saying, Supreme Court judges, like houses, both Senate and yeah, with him and all the things. And that Project 2025 bullshit that they've been talking about.
Hmm.
So, Aitas, do you think that it will escalate and it will become worse?
See, I think overall, like say for someone living in US, yes, overall I'm like it'll get worse,
Yeah.
like a doomsday. But say for me and Deepta also probably, I'm like I'm having far more privileges here than in India, I would say. Like
Oh.
here, I mean overall, yes, like it's a worst thing for someone already living here. Like say people will get lesser food stamps or people living in poverty here.
Hmm.
Yes, they're suffering. And even America as a global leader, I'm thinking climate is doomed or
Yeah.
like we'll have more and more worse things happening. But still, like, if I need to, like, today decide to go back to India or, like, say, be here versus there, I think living in a blue state here is still okay because there are structures, institutions that are relatively way stronger. Like, say, I wouldn't be afraid to run into a police here. Like, I
No,
would
fair
happily
enough,
go and
fair
say,
enough.
smile and say hi.
Yeah, but
But I can't do the
that's
same in, like, somewhere I grew up in India for 20
Fair enough,
years. I
fair
can't say
enough.
that.
Yeah, yeah,
Like,
yeah.
things like that still exist, but again, I'm not, like, super hopeful either.
Like,
They'll
I
get
mean,
worse and worse.
one
I won't say.
example is that
Yeah.
यहाँ पे like whenever like some incident of crime etc happen, people are so scared of going to the police station also, no? Like, but udhar I think it would
That's
be
the
very
same
different.
thing here. No,
Huh?
it depends on your race.
Of
Like if
course.
you're brown or black, you'd be afraid. Like you won't even report any crime. And it depends on like it's kind of similar to like the caste system, you know, where like you come with like inherent privileges based on like what you're born into. Yeah, I think like honestly, I think my life in India was better.
Okay.
So just because I was born and raised in Bombay and I grew up like slightly privileged, so I was fine.
Yeah.
I am also worried about this dude called Stephen Miller, and he has like tried many times to like repeal OPT, repeal STEM OPT, repeal H1B. They're trying to say that children born in the US they cannot be citizens. Like they have all these bills that they've tried to pass before, but the
Naturalization, right?
Senate, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And this
Citizenship.
yeah, and this has been they have tried to pass this when they were in power in pre-Biden era, and they were turned down by the Senate. And now they have nothing. Like they can do anything they want.
But
I don't.
Deepta, sorry, but one of the things I wanted to ask, I mean, I hear you when you say that maybe a privileged Bombay life will be better than, let's say, a US right now. I can actually almost see how that would be better, like in my head. But I
Yeah, you
wanted to
don't have
ask
to
you,
do
so
laundry.
universities, the campuses, the environments there are definitely better than India,
Oh,
though.
far better. Education
Yeah,
system is far better.
yeah, yeah.
Job is also like work life is like far better.
Standard of
Uh,
living is better, clean air.
Yeah, clean air, clean roads, safety for women is better here. I mean, at least in Massachusetts, where I stay, it's better. Like, I mean, certain things are better, but I think day-to-day life, you know, you have like a lot more work to do here than you have to do in India.
So when
You
when
know,
when
we
you see
need.
like a Trump coming in, like would you then agree with Aitas when you think that on a daily basis it might not really affect you that much, or will it?
Well, actually, most immigrants here do fall under federal laws and not state laws. So you may not see like subtle. You may not see like racism daily. You may not, at least if you're living in a blue state, you may not see any like Trump, like you know, MAGA caps floating around. But a lot of the laws, like for me, for example, there'll be like the federal laws apply. So if abortion is banned federally, it doesn't matter. Like I can still get an abortion if I need to in a blue state, but legally I can be jailed for getting an abortion just because it's a federally, like all immigrants fall under federal laws, not state laws.
Can I ask you another very weird question? Both of you actually, right?
Okay.
So we
Mm-hmm.
recently, so I drive a lot, right? Like in these northern areas, I go to like trips, etc. So recently, when I was coming back from somewhere, the Kavadiya Yatra was also going on during that time, right? They were going back home or something. Now we crossed this extremely loud group of young men who were Kavadiyas, who were like playing their DJ, etc. Right? And they were blocking traffic. And my car happened to be the first car in front, right? I don't know why, but me, my partner, and two of my friends who were sitting in the back, हम सबकी फटी पड़ी थी, right? Because in our heads, we were like, if we see Kavadiyas, they can go berserk at any point and break cars, which we have seen happening. I've seen some happening with my own eyes also, right? Now, if you see like a group of MAGA supporters with their hats and caps and whatever, are you terrified? like I was.
Yes,
Okay. Okay,
I
let me
am. I am terrified.
Okay, Deepta
see,
is
I will
terrified.
I will
Aitas?
tell you some. I mean, I live in like a small liberal town, college town, but honestly, I've been in the vicinity of say pro-Israel, pro-Palestine protests, be here or in the city. I wouldn't mind confronting them. Like honestly, again,
Yeah.
just give them the
Hmm.
faith in the institutions.
Yeah.
Like say, even if there's a police standing there, I know the police will have like a body cam or will act in good faith
Exactly my
in
point.
general.
See,
Hmm.
I
That
hear
is
you. I
something,
That's
yeah.
absolutely the point
Mhm.
I was trying to make, right? For example, if the Kavadiya Yatra people go berserk on my car, right? And my car is destroyed, we are injured, etc. I have no safety net. I cannot depend on the
Right.
police. I cannot depend on the hospitals. I cannot depend on, like, I don't know, whatever insurance companies. They will be like, oh, act of God, I guess. So gaya mera sab kuch, right? But I believe that if a similar thing happened in America or like somewhere else, I feel like you would be able to go to like a police station, you would be able to go to a hospital, you would be able to take like insurance companies to like pay you for it, etc. Those systems are much better there.
Yeah, you do have more agency here, even as a non-citizen than as a citizen in India. And you're
Yeah.
kind of facing a mob, right? Like here there's not too much like except for January 6th,
Yeah.
but there's not too much like mob mentality, even in protests. Like they welcome people to like debate. And, even outside my university, there used to be like people who stand there and come like, debate me, like I'm pro-Israel or,
Oh, you can't
I'm
you can't say
pro.
that about Canada anymore, right? Because our Indian uncle bros are going nuts in Canada now. They've been like hitting cars and like doing whatever protests and everything. I think
Yeah, yeah.
Amit Shah has extended his like influence to Canada now, which is, I'm very proud of Amit Shah. It's like, karo sir.
Yeah, yeah.
Create mobs everywhere across the world. Give them a taste of what it feels like to be in India. You guys, you have it too
Yeah.
comfortable, okay? Deepta and Aitas, please take some of our mob
No, but
mentality.
yeah, I also think it's also like we Indians are like model minorities here.
Oh yeah, yeah,
We
yeah.
are like
This I've
we are
been
like the
hearing a
richest.
lot.
Yeah, we are like, and 4 out of 10 Indians, like many of my uncles support Trump uncle and not Miss Harris, like they don't support. It's not like you expect them to be pro-immigration because they came here through immigration,
Yeah,
but many of them seem to be like, so engulfed in their privilege that they don't have any empathy, for anyone else.
yeah.
Yeah, I think that's like it shocks me that so much of the world is now so right wing.
Not,
Like
I
it's
don't
so
see.
crazy.
I don't want to. I mean, I would have said that 5 years ago, when when
Hmm.
we had our 2019 moment. Like that was when then COVID happened, and that whole nutty
Yeah.
tablighi jamaat bullshit also was going on, and then uske baad, I feel like we have been normalizing a little bit, at least in this part of the world. I do believe that
Hmm.
we are like sort of going into like recovery mode a little bit. It
Yeah,
seems
I
like
think
that.
so.
I think it
Y-
will
I,
happen too
I
in
think
America.
to look at a hopeful perspective in the short run, yes, it'll be very bad.
Yeah.
Like even for us students, like say, I don't want to work here, so I'm not concerned about job, but I think jobs will be impacted.
Yeah.
But American economy needs, like they can't cut trade with China or they
Mm.
can't like push out all immigrants today.
Mm.
They need skilled workforce because it is mostly the immigrant population that like also in some way builds America.
Hmm.
Like they
Yeah.
definitely need
Yes.
agriculture, like even undocumented immigrants. I think
Absolutely.
they're in like 30-40% in all the food produce.
Hmm.
So like if you look at farm lobbies, they actually need immigrants coming in because
Hmm.
Americans don't want to do that work.
They don't
So
want to
there'll
do
be pushback
gardening
and
and all those
companies
things
too.
also, no?
Yeah,
They
yeah.
both,
All the
yeah, and meat also.
manual-ish works.
Meat
Yeah.
industry also. It's mostly like immigrants. Coal industry, like coal mines, it's mostly
Hmm.
immigrants or
अरे
like people from
ट्रम्प
prison.
का तो फेवरेट इंडस्ट्री है वो. How can he?
Oh,
Dude,
fracking,
cheap labor आ रहा
fracking
है
and
उसके
all.
यहाँ पे, and
Yeah.
he's like, oh नहीं चाहिए. What? No.
Yeah,
ridiculous.
and Musk too, Tesla is like 40% of Tesla employees are on H1Bs. Like, what is he saying?
Exactly.
It's actually very crazy.
Yeah.
The whole
And
world, it
and
just
all
seems
the
like,
tech. Yeah.
yeah, tech jobs are all done by us.
Yeah,
Doctors,
one of my
20,
very close
30.
friends moved his
Hmm.
entire family to USA recently. Works in a tech company, and now now he's like, oh shit. It's like, yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah. And I mean, there is a big, like, I don't really know what's gonna happen to the US. The economy is actually not that bad here. Like, there are a lot of jobs, um, contrasting to what we hear in the news. The unemployment is at an all-time low. I don't know. There's this thing called anti-incumbent vote where you like just see all the problems around you and you blame the leader and not circumstances. And I think most Americans are like they voted anti-incumbent. Like they were like, okay, gas prices are rising. I'm going
yeah,
to
yeah,
vote
that's
against whoever.
precisely it, right? So I did a video today where I also make that larger point that it was like an anti-incumbency factor mostly. Um
Yeah.
but also like I mean I hear you, but I do feel like that the American life is a good life. I mean, at the end of the day, when you compare it to
Yeah.
like other countries. So yeah,
It's a
let's
good
see.
life to be like privileged here, but if you're poor here, you're subjected to
Oh,
poverty. If
absolutely.
you
If you're,
go to
but
these,
then
like even
American poor is so
hmm,
different than Indian poor. Huh? Like American poor
yeah,
would be
yeah.
so rich in India.
American poor actually they don't have any access. They don't like for example, if you're poor here and you have like a tooth, like say a tooth decay or you need to fix some cavities,
Oh.
they don't have dental insurance, so they just go do extractions or they just keep popping like
That's true.
paracetamol.
Okay,
That
fair enough. Healthcare for the poor here is better than the healthcare for the poor there. Hmm.
yeah,
Oh, I
yeah,
think, yeah. I mean, so if you look at, say, food, like it's sad that like say 40 million people like face hunger here. Like the like
Oh,
amount of people,
just
like
40
imagine all of
million.
those people will be worse off. Like say hunger on a everyday basis, and it's like the food prices, like
Oh,
SNAP program, or like say they have a welfare program for women and children. So if all of those are like cut, like Trump will inevitably make lives worse for all the poor people. But
well,
still,
yeah,
I think they'll
at least
have
Modi ji
some.
doesn't do that.
yeah.
Yes, so
Modi
Modi
ji
ji
I,
feeds
cannot do that
80
because
crore
we're so
people on a
poor.
regular
Yeah.
basis. Doesn't go let them go
hmm,
hungry. So at least.
yeah, like my flatmate actually, she's black and she's from Texas. And she was telling me growing up in Texas, a lot of her teachers, in school were like Republicans. So they would be racist towards the black kids, and they
Mm.
would put them in like, they would not teach them math and science. They would put them in these special needs programs. They'll label them as ADHD or whatever, and they'll put them on medication. And it's so different from India. Like, I mean, casteism in India, you can't, it's not so obvious on your face. You still need to see like surname, you need to ask them. There'll be like subtle, it's more subtle than like race.
Hmm.
So it's going to be like pathetic. I don't know what's going to happen, but I want to come back like in 2 years.
Okay, fair enough. You're welcome back,
Hmm.
Deepta. Please come. Aitas, you're also coming back, so both of you are welcome back. Then यहाँ पे हम मजे करेंगे. यहाँ पे पुलिस
Yeah,
रिफॉर्म
I'm
करेंगे
here
थोड़ा
just
सा.
to exploit their education and take all I can
Yeah,
and
yeah.
exploit them.
Yeah.
You'll
Take
exploit
all the
them.
good knowledge from that country,
Yeah,
exploit them,
Uh,
and
of
then
course.
reverse brain drain back. So
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Honestly,
Okay.
I don't think there's a brain drain, Meg. I think that's good. No, at least not when it comes to India. I think Indians in India are very smart. I think like people who can't, many times it's like if you can't make it in India, you have to like come to the US, or like it's just a natural path after you do
Yeah.
engineering. It's like तुम मत हो तो
Now
you
I
मत.
think that should change. I think बहुत हो गया.
Oh, I
हमारे गुजराती
think
भाई
that
बहनों
is
को
still.
वापस दे दो हमको. Like please let
No,
them
I.
come back.
Oh, honestly, I think on average, if you look, like, say, looking at my cousin, like extended friends or relatives,
Hmm.
they just want a good life. What do they care about? They just care about like earning well, like families well,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
like
yeah.
have their kids grow here. like have good school, and they see, okay, chill, we live here. Like I can't. I mean, we can't do that.
No, but
I feel
that is the
like
same with all, like, I mean, यहाँ पे भी, like the people who are working with like big like startups etc. who have moved to like expensive places in Gurgaon, same attitude, no? They don't give a shit about anything
yeah,
else. They just want like a good life. They want their kids to be in good schools. They want like a good car and all the things. So it's very insulated that way. So it's the same sort of mentality there. Acha, guys, sorry,
Yeah.
I have to end this here.
Okay, cool.
We
Yeah,
have
thank you,
to
mate.
shut this
cool,
down.
no problem.
Okay.
Good night.
See you.
Yeah.
Bye. Good
Thank you
night.
again. Yeah.
Thank you. Hope that helped. And please don't be anxious. And please keep coming back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes,
Okay.
yes, yes. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Bye
Bye.
bye. Bye, Aitas. Bye, Deepta. Okay, friends, I'm going to end this call here. We have done a lot of them, but next time I do it, I'm going to take new people. So, abhi I took like a few people who were repeated, but next time I will not take them. I will take new people. So, I know there have been people waiting to talk to me. Please come next time. I will take you as well. Okay. So, thank you so much, friendos. Thank you. I'm shutting this stage down now. Okay. Chat. Just reading my super chats also. Oh, this is done. Please tell him to touch grass and end Karthik. Oh, वो पहले वाला. Thank you for the 9 months, by the way. And Shashi became super support. Oh, thank you so much. Friends, do please consider supporting, liking, doing the things. And yeah, thank you for being here. I hope that was useful. I hope that was fun. Next week, so friends, schedule थोड़ा सा change हो रहा है. I am going to keep one live stream flexible from next week. So the Friday live stream will happen, and the Friday live stream will mostly be a call-in radio. Mostly. That's the idea. And like the rest of the live streams will be a little flexible. So Monday ko I might not do a live stream, but I will do one on Wednesday. We will do a deep dive live stream on Subhash Chandra Bose, in case you haven't forgotten. We will do who is Subhash Chandra Bose on Wednesday, most likely. So yeah, I will see you on Wednesday. Till then, I'm going to write some videos and put them out. I'm honestly like focusing a lot more on videos for a while because I feel like उससे मेरा subscription भी बढ़ रहा है and it is bringing people to the live streams also. But I will not abandon you. Don't worry. DKD भी लाना है वापस. Yes, DKD next week. I'm going to talk to Medusa. So we will be back with DKD also. अभी तो महाराष्ट्र इलेक्शंस भी आ रहा है तो बड़ा फन होने वाला है. Yes, I will do DKD. Okay, lots to do. Thank you so much, friends, and have a good weekend and have fun. Okay, bye, 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 bye.